Here we go, MJ and the crew. I got to see how my voice is because I really haven't talked much since I got off the show on Friday morning. I went home and I pretty much didn't leave the house all weekend long. I was just in my underwear pretty much all weekend long. So just trying to get a feel for my voice when I'm actually trying to project here on the radio show. It feels like 26% off.
Sounds about 28 off.
I heard you on Friday. I heard you about 5 minutes Friday morning, and I was like, he is high as a kite.
Yeah.
I'm like, those are some Friday festivities around there. Knee deep in the oxys.
Well, I stopped taking the oxys.
You got yourself hooked?
No, I stopped taking the oxys because, man, those things will jam you up.
Oh, yeah, I know what you mean by that.
Dude, it is like somebody opened your mouth and poured concrete down your throat.
Yeah. They'll do that.
And they're packing concrete into a sidewalk right in your stomach, your intestines, the poop, all.
Oh, my. Oh, okay. TMI. Right. It was TMI with the laying around the house naked, and now we're just going too far.
So I backed off the oxy. I just been taking the Toradol, which is kind of I think it's a little bit of a jacked up NSAID. So that's what I've been taking. I totally discontinued the oxys because, man, those things, I don't know if they really provided that much pain relief anyway. So, hey, Froggy, what did you do over the weekend? And for those that are just tuning in, I had a kidney procedure at like 7:30 on Thursday night. I had what they call lithotripsy, and that's where they were banging my kidney with ultrasound like 2,000 times to bust up a 10-millimeter kidney stone in my right kidney. And I'm just been whizzing gravel and little rocks of particulate all weekend. It's like every stuff is still coming out.
I feel sick.
So
making me feel sick.
I mean that's a big stone, 10 millimeters, and there's still gravel and sand coming out.
We can have empathy for you and not know all these gross
What do you say?
details.
You can have what?
We can have empathy for you and not know all these disgusting details.
Well, a lot of people go through it.
Listen, I'm just being real, man. I'm just keeping it real. So that's my deal, and I'll get into a little bit more of my fabulous weekend in my underwear. my wife and daughter, Julian's still up at school because he doesn't graduate until this weekend. He comes home with us on Sunday from school as a high school graduate from his boarding school up in Connecticut. And Chloe and Michelle have said that they've never, ever, ever seen me sleep this much.
Your body needs rest.
Yeah, I'm running a fever too. So so you can see I'm all sweaty.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
You gonna get us sick?
No, it's not that kind of fever, dude.
It's a withdrawal fever.
No, it's not.
You got the yips?
No,
You
I'm
shaking?
I'm not. I'm not having the. I'm not having.
The oxy yips?
I'm not having narcotic withdrawal. I'm not having opioid sweats. No,
That's what it sounds like.
no, it's just the pain, and then I'm still stopped up, and it's like just a low grade fever. I'm like,
It's no fun,
I'm
yeah.
sitting at about 100.2 right now, and
Jeez.
you see, I'm all sweaty. Can you see? I'm all. You see all.
Yeah. You're
I'm
like Fester.
I'm like
Ugh.
I'm like rubbing the sweat off my eyebrows. Listen, I could have stayed home. I could have been miserable at home, or I could have been miserable on the air.
Oh, great.
I'm
That's
so-
great for us.
Wait, listen, I'm just being honest. By the way, Fester,
Yeah, where the hell is he at?
I asked him to stop and get me some Gatorades because I got to pound Gatorades all morning long.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't sleep I slept from 10 to 2. So from 10 p.m. to 2 a.m., I slept. And I think I slept fairly well. But then from 2 a.m. to 5 a.m., I'm just lying there.
Oh.
I'm just tossing and turning. And I would have liked those additional 3 hours. That would have been nice because that would have given me a solid 7,
Yeah.
which is something I never get. But I did sleep a ridiculous amount.
Sounds like you got a good amount of sleep in over the weekend. Should be good.
So I want to kind of go down the list to see my weekend sucked. But, but listen, it's what I'm going through is nothing compared to, Memorial Day and,
Right.
and those that, gave their life fighting for this country, serving this country. And I always make a point, going into Memorial Day weekend, coming out of Memorial Day weekend, I always make it a point to remember those that served this country, that lost their lives. And that's why we have Memorial Day. It's not to get a deal on a car. It's not to get a deal on 3 rooms of carpet or a washer and dryer set.
Mattress?
No, mattress. I mean, it's to remember those. I mean, when you say Happy Memorial Day, I never say Happy Memorial Day.
What about have a good Memorial Day weekend?
Yeah, you know what?
That's iffy.
Yeah,
Teetering.
that's kind of shaky. It's kind of shaky, to be quite honest. So here comes Fester. Fester has an excused tardiness because he stopped at Circle K to get me. So the 32-ounce Gatorades are what, like 28 ounces now? Like shrinkage is just the fact. I said, hey, let me see what we got here. All right, so I said to Fester, hey, get me the big Gatorade. Don't get me the 20-ounce bottle. Get me the big. They used to be 32-ounce, but of course, shrinkage. Oh, yeah, 28 ounces. So the 32-ounce bottle of Gatorade is now 28 ounces, man. Because why? Shrinkage has hit everything. So what flavors did he get me? This is lemon lime.
I got you 2 lemon limes, 2 oranges.
That's fine.
Because shopping for Gatorade is no longer an easy process.
Were they? You got me the full sugars, right?
Yeah.
I didn't want those zeros. I need sugar, man. I need energy.
They had Gatorade Zero. They had Gatorade Frost.
I
and
don't.
They had regular.
Frosts are okay
Are they? I didn't know.
Yeah, Frosts are okay. I like the Frosts.
I like the OG flavors.
These are fine.
And then they had a white one, but it was too white to be natural in any way.
Yeah, I like the white one though.
I was like, oh my God, I can't get him the white one. I'll never hear the end of it.
Yeah,
So
that's made with the same coloring they use for whiteout.
essentially it's what it looked like. It looked like they had plain Gatorade and just put milk in it. And I'm like, oh, he'll never want
All
that.
right, so what do you say we go around the horn when we get back? And I want to know what everyone did this weekend. Roxanne, Fester, Froggy. I'll get into this later on. I'm in the middle of having my kidney stone meltdown, and I get Froggy and Kim calling me in a freaking panic. What night was that? Was that Monday night or was that Sunday night?
Sunday night.
Sunday night? Oh my God.
Well, I wasn't in a panic.
Oh, Kim is like, oh my God, what do I do? I'm like, oh my, what the? So
A little outrageous.
suddenly I'm freaking roadside assistance again with kidney stone fragments racing through my body.
You didn't sound good that night.
You're like, oh, you know what else I got to do today? I got to record the new tram recording for Tampa International Airport.
Hey, that's all right. That's cool, man.
What? You're gonna do it?
Wait,
Well, I'll explain it
Run
all.
into the mayor.
Okay.
They've approached me to record the tram recording for a for a charity. So it's not like full time. It's gonna be for like a week or two or whatever.
Is it an audition?
No, it's not an audition.
No, it's for a charity. It's for his time, but I got to know the exact days. I'll go to the airport just for an hour so I don't pay for parking, but I'll ride on the tram back and forth.
Just to hear my voice.
Yeah, I love you, man.
We got a lot of stuff today. It's going to be a pretty jammed up show. And just like my bowels, all jammed up.
Oh.
So, all right, hang just getting rolling, folks. Back in a minute. MJ Morning Show.
You know, you did so good.
MJ Morning Show on Q105. But don't open my Gatorade. No. Hey, leave my Gatorades alone. Hey, Fester, give me my Gatorades.
They look so good and
Don't let
cold.
him take my damn Gatorades. All right, here's Pat with traffic. Back in a minute. is the MJ Morning Show on Q105, 621 here on a Tuesday morning. Feels like a Monday, but rest assured, it is a Tuesday. And, man, this place is such a disaster. Yeah. My God. I mean, so I had to run to the bathroom. No soap in the bathrooms. I mean, this place is just a wreck.
There's never a paper towel either.
Guys, I got to be honest. I think I'm coming to the end.
Did you have your fill?
Over soap?
It's just cumulative.
Soap is the straw that broke the camel's back.
It's like everything. I seriously, I think I'm coming to the end.
I'm a believer that
I swear
overusage of soap is what led to so many diseases amongst our
society. And then I pound, I pound the left sink soap, and some like brown sludge came out.
Yeah.
Smell my hand.
Who's running this operation?
Smell my hand.
I'll smell it.
What is this?
But is it like from the sewage pipe or something? It's brown?
I don't. No. It's the soap dispenser, but I'm pounding the dispenser to get some soap out of something, and this brown it's like transmission oil sludge comes out. I don't know what the hell it is.
Rusty corrosion.
Yes, rusty. I don't know what is on my hands. And it smells all like chemically. Doesn't smell like soap. Yeah, guys.
Let me get you some soap.
And then we've got the security issue, which we can't even talk about yet.
All weekend long it's been like that?
What?
Continued.
Oh, our security issue is ongoing.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That continues. Oh, that I don't know if there's any end in sight. It's just everything. There are. Anyway, let me.
He's about had it. I think.
I'm about at the end here.
All right,
I swear to God, I am. I'm about at the end.
Calm down. We have a show to do today.
Yeah,
we're not going to
do a web post about it.
Yeah, there will be an Instagram post about this later in detail. I'm sure. Calm down. We're going to have a great show today.
All right. So I want to issue a thanks. A couple of minutes ago, before that phenomenal Mariah Carey song. I said over the intro that I wanted to issue a thanks, and I didn't want something that I recognized to go unnoticed. And I would like to take this time. I would like to take this moment here at 6:23 in the morning. I would like to thank the bridge construction crew building the new Howard Franklin Bridge for hanging the American flag from one of the cranes over Memorial Day weekend. I noticed it, Fester, as you were driving me home on Friday, even in my pain in the back seat when I was about to hurl, I took a picture.
While in the middle of that nightmare that you call a ride back to your house.
Yeah, where you had to pull over. This is another story. So if you follow my Instagram...
I was laughing so hard at that video. I was cracking up.
I watched the whole thing. What part isn't funny? I mean, everything's funny in a different way.
Fester's face staring at you as you're like...
If you follow my Instagram, and folks, listen, you really ought to be following my Instagram because you don't know what the hell's going to happen. Certified MJ Radio. Certified MJ Radio. When I walk out, you can still follow me there. Certified MJ Radio. So you can follow me there, but you never know what's going to happen, including an Instagram live from the back of Fester's car on Friday, and we'll get into that later on. Froggy, you found that humorous?
Oh my God, I was laughing so hard.
Let me make a note. We'll talk about that later on.
I wish I drove by and saw you on your knees.
I know.
That would have been so funny.
All I'm thinking of. People are driving by right now. I was like, is that MJ?
I'm on the side of 275 on my knees. And I'm about to hurl because the kidney pain, the stone pain, it makes you want to, hurl.
How about the oxy on an empty stomach might have been something
that also is not a good thing. But I can't eat. I've had like a bowl of chicken soup all weekend long.
Oh, no.
I'm
so tired.
I've not had much to eat. I've drunk a lot of pomegranate juice, so at least there's some sugar and calories. Going down.
Could you drink like a protein drink or something?
I
had some in the office.
Michelle got some Publix chicken soup for me yesterday, so I had some of that yesterday. But I really have not eaten a lot since Friday. It's just I'm not hungry. I've already lost, I think, 38 pounds. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, most of that was the stone.
So Let me get back to the flag. I want to thank the construction company that's building the Howard Franklin Bridge for hanging the flag. I mean, simple things like that I think mean a whole lot. And while I was in the back of Fester's car driving home, because I didn't drive in on Friday because I had my procedure at 7:30 on Thursday night. I'm in the OR at Tampa General, and they're pounding my kidney with the ultrasound 2,000 times to bust up the stone, and I think it was pretty successful. I mean, I'm still passing gravel and rocks and everything, but still, even just minutes ago. So.
Flag.
Fester drove. Yeah, thank you.
Okay.
I'm going to need some help keeping on track today. I'm telling you.
We're here for you.
Peg word.
So Fester drove me in and drove me back because I was on oxys. I'm taking the oxycodones. This was Thursday night into Friday, and there's no way I'm getting behind the wheel of a car when I'm on oxycodone. That's a narcotic, and that's an easy way to get a DUI or whatever. I'm not doing that. Not in a million years. So Fester drove me in. And I've stopped taking the oxys. I stopped taking the oxys on Saturday because those things were just jamming me up. All right? So I stopped taking those. So I'm just taking ketorolac, which is Toradol, which is like an NSAID.
Okay.
So that's the one. And that seems to be helping me. It's not quite as good as like a Toradol drip, but it's still okay.
All right. I'll make a comment to your doctor on.
So I'm driving home on Friday, and I'm in the backseat of Fester's car. Why? Because the front passenger seatbelt doesn't freaking work.
It clicks. It just doesn't retract.
Dude,
okay.
It won't even stretch halfway across my body to even click myself in. You cannot click it.
Yeah, you're right.
And click it or tick it. All right? I'm not riding with you in that 2010 Cadillac DTS in the front seat while you're weaving and swerving, no turn signal, going back and forth, lane changes incessantly, and I've got no seatbelt on.
It was pretty luxurious in the back seat, though, wasn't it?
So I did sit in the back seat, and as we're driving home, even in my condition, I'm like, look at that. Isn't that nice? Look at that. The construction crew on the Howard Franklin Bridge, they've already hung the American flag for the Memorial Day weekend. And I just want to thank the construction crew for doing that. And then coming in this morning, and I did drive myself this morning because I'm not on narcotics right now, so I'm able to drive. I just don't feel great, but I'm able to drive. And I noticed that the flag was still flying, hanging from the crane, and also they had the construction lights shining on the flag. So they were running the lights at night. And, of course, that according to the U.S. code, and the way to display the flag, that if an American flag is displayed at night, it has to be illuminated. So the construction crew even did the above and beyond by illuminating the flag. And I saw that this morning when I was driving in at 5:30. Of course, it's still dark out. So I wanted to just thank again the construction crew for even illuminating the American flag. So it's just simple things like that kind of put a smile on my face, and it, kind of restored a little piece of trust in humanity.
They know what they're doing.
Yeah. So I do appreciate that. Whoever was responsible for that, thank you. Howard, here's to you, Howard Franklin Bridge Builders.
Remember that old beer commercial?
Yeah. Real men of genius. Yeah. Real men of genius, right?
Yes.
Here's to you, Howard Franklin Bridge Builders. For Memorial Day weekend, you selflessly hung the American flag and even illuminated it to meet U.S. code for displaying the United States flag.
I wore my American flag swimming trunks all weekend. So.
You know what? And I guess what? I believe that's a violation.
Yeah, you're not my crotch area.
I don't think you're supposed to be wearing clothing that displays American flag. I don't think
really?
that. Yeah, I don't think so. Yeah,
not even a shirt with the flag on it.
Yeah, okay, like a flag emblem. I don't know, but a whole shirt that's a flag.
No,
I don't think you're supposed to be doing that.
Listen,
yeah,
I got these on sale at Walmart like 4 years ago, and they are the best swimming trunks.
Okay,
all right, great.
Are we going to go around the horn and talk about weekends?
Yeah, but we're running late here. I don't want to get too behind the 8 ball.
No,
And
he
plus
said he wanted. Yeah.
We lost the morning show horn, so we can't go around it.
If I do it now, it's too late. So we'll have to do it when we get back.
Yeah. I never heard you say that before. I was like, oh, this will be interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I want to go around the horn. I want to see, or maybe we'll just push it until next hour. I don't know. We'll see. This is going to be a very unorthodox show because I probably shouldn't be here. But like I said, I'd rather be in pain and miserable standing up and doing this than just being at home lying down in pain, being miserable.
Michelle must really be a bear to be with.
She must be happy you're at work.
Maybe. So, hey, we've got early morons in the news to get into, which always puts a smile on my face because no matter how bad things are, it's not as bad as these imbeciles, as bad as these idiots. So hold on, folks. I wouldn't miss 1 minute of today's show because you don't know what the hell's going to happen. I'm telling you right now. And my hand smells from some crud that came out of the... Hey, Festa...
Your hands are supposed to smell worse after you use soap.
Exactly.
I can get you real bathroom soap from another place.
I think raccoon feces came out of the soap dispenser. I don't know what it is. I mean, do we have cleaning crew? What's going on in this place?
There's been blood on the door in the back for like a year.
Oh my God.
I don't know what happened there. I'm not asking any questions.
There's a murder scene.
Oh my God. All right, so hey, early morons in the news. We'll get to that next. Don't move. We're back in minutes on the MJ Morning Show here on Q105. Stand by. 6:40 at the MJ Morning Show. No particular order here today. Just some insanity ensues from all over the country. You got to love a guy that nearly burns his entire house down trying to kill spiders. You know, these stories pop up every once in a while. You know, whether it's somebody like igniting bug bombs or, and Fester, we've got a bug issue too, don't we?
Man.
Yeah. Fester started a little scientific experiment on Friday.
It doesn't have to do with cockroaches, does it?
No, not cockroaches.
No.
Okay.
I complained about this last week. I complained to management or somebody, maybe not management, somebody in the administrative arm of our building about this issue.
I just can't believe they re-upped the lease in this dump. I just can't believe they did that.
It is pretty gross.
I really can't believe it.
It's not a very motivating building.
All right, so Fester.
Yes.
We'll talk about your bug issue after this guy's bug issue.
Scientific experiment.
All right, listen to this. According to WTAJ television up in Pennsylvania, Joshua Jenkins, 42, of fabulous Altoona, Pennsylvania, was arrested Thursday night after he called 911 for a house fire that he reportedly started while trying to burn spiders. Yeah, the TV station said that police said that Jenkins was combative when first responders arrived and gave them difficulty trying to locate the fire. He reportedly told them that he was using a butane torch, which the TV station said actually turned out to be a propane torch to burn the spiders and their nests from the outside of his home. Police accused him of trying to stop firefighters from taking a fire hose to his home. The station said that officials reported seeing 15 burn marks on the outside of the home and numerous burn marks inside the home, despite Jenkins denying that he used the torch indoors. They saw the burn marks. They saw the torch marks all over the place.
That is how you get rid of those big cob spider webs, right?
You don't.
My grandfather took me into the shed when I was like 5 years old with like a homemade flamethrower. He's like, watch this.
You don't light a flamethrower or ignite a torch and burn insects inside your home. You don't even do it outside your home.
You're not burning the insects. You're burning the web. The web is what you burn.
Dude.
And then they skedaddle.
Hold on. Your grandfather taught you to burn insects with fire?
I can't be the only one who believes this.
Come on.
Now, I'm not talking about like one web in the corner of like the house or something, but if you have a lot of spider webs.
Didn't you see arachnophobia?
You take a flame through them.
15 burn marks outside the home, numerous burn marks inside the home, and this Jenkins dude denied that he used the torch indoors, but they're like, wait, we got burn marks inside. Officials said the home likely would have burned down had he not called 911. So the guy calls 911, the fire department shows up, and then he gives the fire department a hard time about accessing the home or trying to tell the fire department where the hell he lit the fire.
So he was combative. So was he maybe on drugs? Because that happens too. Then you feel like maybe spiders are crawling on you.
I have no indication that he was on drugs. Officials said, though, that the home would have burned down if the guy had not called the fire department. The television station said that Jenkins was charged with arson, risking a catastrophe.
That's a law?
I guess it is.
I've never heard of it.
In Pennsylvania, there's something called risking a catastrophe. Possession of an instrument of crime, tampering with evidence, and other lesser charges. Yeah. The shoe method or catch and release is always the way to go with spiders, according to the story.
Yeah.
The shoe method.
But not spider
hold on.
webs.
What is the shoe method? You just take your shoe and
shoe.
Yeah, is that it? Just smash them and
No, you do a river dance on it. What do you think? Smash it.
squish it real good.
A river dance would work.
Squish it. Squish it good. Oh, squish it. Salt and pepper. Squish it. Squish it real good.
Have you never lit a spider web on fire?
I have never lit a fire in my home to get rid of insects. No.
Okay, in the home part sounds a little irresponsible.
I have
However,
never lit a fire on the outside of my home to get rid of insects either. If I've got spiders, if I have wasps or hornets, I use the appropriate chemical spray.
Right.
I use a pesticide.
There's two areas here.
Not a flamethrower.
Okay, one's the bug. Okay, the pesticide gets the bug, but all the web, the big web they make, that goes up in flames. Those little silks.
Is that what they are?
I guess,
Little
right?
silks.
Didn't I hear like a spider web is stronger
Fester.
than like steel?
Stop. Do not. Are you still doing this?
I'm saying.
Hold on. When was the last time you lit a fire inside or outside your home to take care of an arachnid issue?
All right. So an arachnid issue has been a while because I don't have a spider issue. However, I did light up a palm tree once to get rid of all the dead branches. That did not go well at all.
Dude, what is...
You know, they make cutters for that.
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
How about the van with the turkey inside? How'd that go for you as well?
Yeah, I mean, at the end
Hold on. Did you light up the palm tree before or after the turkey fryer
I
fire?
did the palm tree like 2 years ago.
Dude, you're
Couldn't find my clippers. I'm like, I bet you if I light one, they'll all
you're a
just go.
complete imbitard. Unbelievable. Yeah. So
I had to kill a spider yesterday, and I just did it with my bare fingers. I just pinched it.
you did?
Yeah.
What if
and-
it was like a brown recluse or something?
Well, it was pretty small, but I'm like, I'm sorry, girls.
You
I'm
didn't
gonna-
even get a tissue?
No, because I didn't. I just wanted to do it fast. It was on my arm, so I just picked it up and
Well,
That thing could have
And-
beat
you could flick it, but you actually squeeze. What type of was it? A little like
it was just a little one. I'm like, I'm sorry, girls. I'm gonna have to kill one of God's creatures. Psh. And then because it was gonna crawl
Did
on
you
them
really
too.
say that to your kids?
Yeah, because I don't want to.
Is
But
that the most traumatizing thing you could say to your children before
Yeah,
you
you know
kill
what?
a spider?
I think that's more traumatic than just saying, "Hey, you know what? We get rid of insects and pesky spiders." I think that's more traumatic.
Is it dead forever?
Mommy, no, my mommy just killed one of God's creatures. Mommy's a murderer.
Yeah. I said the same thing to the kids when I took the dog to the vet for the last time. All right. Oh, Roxanne, that's terrible. I'm going to kill one of God's.
They said, is it dead forever now? I go, yeah, it's dead forever.
We'll see it again in heaven.
So now you're having that conversation with the kids as well? Well, that's great.
All spiders go to heaven, honey. Don't worry.
Hey, check this out. In Illinois, a guy was busted for stealing a backhoe digger and then driving 10 miles to the airport to catch a flight.
Okay.
Say what? Couldn't grab an Uber?
Couldn't steal anything more efficient?
Couldn't get a ride from a friend? Timothy Baggett of Carbondale, Illinois, allegedly parked the tractor-like ride at the Veterans Airport of Southern Illinois, then hopped out with a guitar case and hustled off to the terminal, according to security camera footage, which has been shared by the police. Baggett's accused of swiping the debris-hauling machine from a semi-rural job site, then ditching it in the airport parking lot, prompting a call to police about a suspicious vehicle. And, of course, airports are crawling with security cameras. They've got cameras in all the parking lots. Yeah, cameras everywhere. If it's an airport, you can guarantee there are 30 times more cameras than anywhere else. So this guy steals a backhoe and then drives it 10 miles to get to the airport and then dumps it in the parking lot at the airport?
Wow.
Man, there are some total imbeciles out there. Yeah, the owner of the backhoe arrived at the airport shortly after and claimed that, according to police, they've got security footage of the guy parking the backhoe. They got security footage of him walking across the airport parking area, across to the terminal. You know, they got him in the pedestrian zone, where the cars have to stop when you cross from area to area, from island to island.
Did he park it in long-term or short-term parking?
That's a good question. Doesn't say. Yeah. He was charged with felony count to theft in excess of $10,000 because the backhoe's worth more than that. Observers cracked jokes about his hillbilly-style ride on the sheriff's Facebook page, writing, "Now that's redneck. You can't even make this up. You must be who did all that redneck stuff? What was his name?
That was the legendary Jeff
Foxworthy?
Yes.
You might be a redneck.
If you steal a backhoe and drive it to the airport,
you go to a family reunion to meet your future wife."
Apparently, he even put the buckets down. In good operator etiquette, he put the buckets on the backhoe down when he parked it in the parking lot.
I'm watching the video right now. This is really the best backhoe parking job I think I've ever seen.
Yeah, he parks it in a parking spot. He
Right
just
behind.
and then he puts the front bucket down.
Just lowers it.
And then he gets out, grabs his little guitar case.
How's he know how to
and
do
just
all that?
makes his way to the terminal.
He's a smart fella.
Did this dude not think he was going to get caught? I mean, it's unbelievable. So now the guy's facing, felony theft charges. The guy's a complete imbecile. Unbelievable. All right, so that's early morons in the news, and pretty spiders and backhoes this morning. That's a good combo platter right there. Yeah. So hey, when we get back, let's go around the horn. Let's talk about what everyone did for Memorial Day weekend, and I'm gonna have the crappiest weekend, I guarantee it, of all. What are you pointing at?
I was pointing to the office because we got to talk about the experiments as well.
Okay, so we need to go and take pictures during the break? Is that it?
Yes.
All right, so Fester set up an office experiment over the holiday weekend, and
What'd you do?
we'll discuss that also next here on the MJ Morning Show on Q105. Stand by, folks. Q105, MJ and the crew here, 701. If you notice, my voice doesn't sound 100% because it's not. And I'm not going to burden you with all my crap, but listen, I got to tell the story at some point. But my voice is, I don't know whether, I was intubated on Thursday, but, Friday's show, I thought I sounded okay. But, with the surgery on Thursday night, I was intubated. But I don't know if that had any effect or whether it was the fact that I really haven't used my voice all weekend. I have no idea. Anyway, it is the MJ Morning Show. I'm just going to tell you right now, content-wise, I got lots of content. But me personally, I'm not operating at 100%. So it could be entertaining just to see where I fail today. So...
That's one way to look at it.
That could be a little entertaining twist because, I'm such a perfectionist. But listen, I could be miserable at home or I could be, in rough shape on the air. So, might as well just, do something I semi-enjoy, right?
A couple of seconds ago, you said you don't want to burden anyone with your crap.
Yeah.
That's kind of all you do. I'm just saying. We love you, but that's the show.
Fester.
Listen, we heard a lot of kidney talk. You burden us with all your stuff, and we love you for it.
Dude, you're harsh.
He's never had it. He doesn't understand.
You are rough, man. You need to get some kidney stones so you can see what it's like.
Dude, according to this video that you shot in the back of my car, I am the best friend you'll ever have. I'm getting some high praise for being a pretty stand-up guy for telling you to...
throw up in your car.
Throw up in the car, dude.
Yeah.
Let's
That's
do it.
Nice.
Do it right now. Do it on the carpet.
That's a friend you want.
Yeah, that's the kind of friend you're looking for.
If you haven't seen the video, this is Fester driving me home on Friday. After the morning show on Friday, Fester's driving me home, and I'm getting sick in the back. I'm like, I'm starting to get that taste in my mouth, and, I didn't notice. But people noticed on the video, my lips were white. My lips had zero color. And there was some dude on the video that commented, dude, you're faking it. You're an actor. I'm like, what are you talking about? I'm like, go to hell.
You did look a little pale.
You ought to see my lips. So if you look at the video where Fester's driving me and I'm in the back seat, and when I turn the camera around on myself, look at my lips. My lips are like white as snow. I've got no color. I'm flush. And people noticed that. And I didn't even notice it until people pointed it out. Like, dude, man, look at your lips. So that video is on my Instagram, and it's Certified MJ Radio. So my Instagram is Certified MJ Radio. If you want to see it, look for it's like the third tile on the page right now. And look for Fester driving, and you can see the pack of hot dogs behind Fester's head.
Right.
He's got the rolls of hot dogs back there, with his back of the head fat.
Right. And
so it looks like a pack of hot dogs. Looks like some ballpark Franks. So look for that little still shot. Then you can play the video and see my ride home where I'm about to get sick. And Festa tells me to hurl in his car. I'm like, dude, I'm not hurling in your car. So I tell him to pull over on the side of the Howard Franklin. And once I got out of the car and I'm on the ground, it started to subside. But I can imagine people are like driving by and saying, is that MJ on his knees on the side of 275?
Oh.
You are making that face in the back of the car, like that pre-throw up face, like
look
that.
At my
when
lips.
You purse your lips, and you're like, oh.
Look at the color of my lips.
Yeah, they're white.
They are white. And I got some doofus saying, "Oh, you're faking it, man. You're a good actor."
No, it's a pre-vomit grimace.
Oh my God. Anyway, did you see the bag over my head?
On another Instagram tile, yes, I did. I haven't watched the audio, but I heard the audio.
So last night I shot a video. I didn't look good last night, so I shot a video with a bag over my head. So kind of like the Unknown Comic. So if you haven't seen that video is also up at Certified MJ Radio on my Instagram, Certified MJ Radio. All right, let's just take a few minutes here. Let's go round the horn. And I'm not going to burden you guys with my lousy weekend. But Roxanne, tell me about your holiday weekend.
Okay, I'm going to work backwards sequentially. Yesterday, I got my kids back into a routine that they have to stay in for the whole summer. Like we have to be really militant around our house because they are animals if they don't have a routine. So I was trying to like teach it to Doug, and they do crafts and they do science, then they do reading, so that's what we did all day yesterday. And then Sunday we went to dinner with his business partner at Hula Bay, and then Saturday we had
Is there anything interesting here?
Yes, we're getting to it. That's why I'm working backwards.
Can you skip the dull stuff and just give me the interesting stuff?
Saturday we went to a dance recital, and there was a guy at the dance recital playing video games on his iPad the entire show. Like he didn't even have like a phone. He had like a full iPad, and he was doing video games the whole dance recital.
Now, whose dance recital was it?
Evelyn Jade's. It was
Which one is that?
The older one.
The older one?
The 6-year-old, and she was in at the Strauss Center. So it's a big to-do.
Yeah. Just remember, the older daughter has the old lady name. Evelyn.
Yes. There you go. That's how you remember.
Old lady name, older daughter.
Right. I mean, it's not a swipe at the kid. It's
gotcha.
Sweet, beautiful kid. But the
the 6-year-old is Evelyn.
Yes. Daviana's.
I had an Aunt Evelyn.
See?
Yeah.
Yeah. And where's she right now?
She's 6 feet under.
Yeah, old lady name. Right.
Yeah.
So
she's a bunch of bones in a box.
Okay, that's ghoulish.
I think she was born in like 1902.
It was a good year.
Yeah.
So I've been doing web posts about everything I do. So like I did a web post. The Straz is the best place to have a dance recital. If you want to check that out on myq105.com.
So hang on a second. So your kid goes to a regular dance school, and they kind of zhuzh things up by having a recital at the Straz Center.
Oh, it's fancy, but it's good experience for the kids to perform in front of that big
the
crowd.
Straz has like 3 or 4 different stages.
The big, I forget the name of it, but the big
Straz. It was the big room.
The big room. Yes.
Are you sure? Really?
It's like the Morsani Theater, and then there's the Straz
What's
Theater.
the big room?
It's not the J. What is it? It's not the one that starts with the J.
Jabe.
Hey, the last time I was in the big Straz was Kelly Ring and hubby Ed. They took us to see Phantom of the Opera. This is years ago at the Straz. So Kelly Ring, formerly of Fox 13, and her fabulous husband, Ed Bullitt, they said, hey, you want to go see Phantom of the Opera? And I'm like, not really. But Michelle said, oh, let's go. It'll be fun. So I fell asleep. I was snoring during Phantom of the Opera. That was like that was the worst thing I think I've ever seen in my life. The Phantom of the Opera. And then I see, did they just shut it down? Did it just close down?
Finally?
Yeah, on Broadway. Did it finally, after like decades and decades, finally shut down? So that's the last time I was at the big Straz Theater was Phantom of the Opera. And Michelle kept like nudging me. She kept like trying to wake me up. And I'm like I'm like snoring.
So that was at the Morsani Theater Hall.
That's the big one?
I think so.
Okay. All right.
So Phantom of the Opera takes its final Broadway bow after almost 14,000
like a month ago, over a month and a half ago, right? When was it?
April 15th?
Well, that's the date of the story. I don't know when the final show was.
April 16th was the final.
Okay. All right. So it was over a month ago. They did the final Broadway performance of Phantom of the Opera. As far as I'm concerned, it could have been like 13 years ago at the Straz Center. That could have been the final performance.
So the most exciting thing I did this weekend is I went and saw my $1,500 comedy club show. Remember that? At Side Splitters.
So what night was that? Was that Friday night?
That was Friday. No, the tickets were $20 a piece.
Yeah. So remember, Roxanne almost got bamboozled.
But I did not.
Roxanne goes to buy comedy show. Who was the comedian?
Quinn Dale.
I'm not sure who that is.
He was funny.
All right. I'm sure he was. But I don't know who he is.
Quinn Dale.
But so this is about a month ago, 3 weeks ago. Roxanne is like, oh my God, guys, I'm trying to buy 4 comedy club tickets and they're $1,500 for Side Splitters on Dale Mabry. I'm like, what the? There are no comedy club seats at Side Splitters that are $1,500 freaking bucks. Anyway, Roxanne stumbled upon some kind of a rip-off reseller where I guess they're just waiting for they're waiting for rubes to come along and say, oh yeah, okay, I'll just buy these tickets. these were $20 a piece once you actually bought them from Side Splitters?
That's it. $20 a piece. Yes.
$20 tickets.
Yeah.
So 20, 40, 60, $80 in tickets. Roxanne initially was considering spending $1,500 on some awful third-party website.
2 drink minimum.
I wonder how many people fall for that. How many people buy seats from some of these reseller sites instead of buying them from the original outlet, and you're paying a fraction of the price.
Top thing that comes up on the Google search. So they're paying for SEO, this site is. But yeah, the show was really good, but I have to tell you something funny. So we never Uber anywhere. I know, MJ, you're a big Uberer. Everywhere you go, if you go out, you Uber, right?
Well, I really dislike Uber because Uber is so erratic these days. Pricing and, when it says they'll be at my house in 5 minutes and then suddenly jumps to 15 minutes and then they always cancel rides on me. I'm really not an Uber fan. Uber has been a real... We use Uber if we're going out to dinner and I know we're going to be drinking with friends. I don't want to be driving. So that's when we'll take an Uber. But Uber's become a chore, man. It's become tedious.
So we took an Uber. We rarely take Uber because I have to take the babysitter home. I usually have to drive the babysitter home, so I'm not going to drink if I have to drive a sitter home. But we didn't have to drive a sitter home, and we took an Uber, and we're both in the Uber, and we're both like, this is kind of silly. We could have just drove our car because we're not going to drink that much just because we have an Uber. And I don't know about Doug, but I lost my mind drunk. I don't even remember.
You were blackout drunk on Friday night? Friday night?
It's so funny because it's like we're in the car going out to dinner. I'm like, this is silly. We should have just.
And you weren't here on Friday. You were not on the show on Friday.
No, it was not. I had a personal day on Friday, and I'm just like, we should have just drove a car.
So personal day on Friday, and you got blackout drunk on Friday night?
Doug's like, at what point do you not remember anything that happened? He's like, do you remember?
God.
We went to Terrasur, which you love that place. I remember that.
What is that?
Terrasur Cafe. You love that place.
Oh, is that the Peruvian place?
Yes.
Yeah, I haven't been in a while, but I had a really good meal there. Yeah.
Yeah, and then we went to the comedy club, and I just remember laughing and went somewhere after and checked out.
And what'd you say? How did you describe it? Did you say lost your mind drunk?
Yeah.
That is dangerous.
No, well, I mean, I'm not like roaming the streets doing that.
All right, Fester, what was your holiday weekend like?
Well, I broke out the weed whapper on a Sunday. And
The weed whapper?
Yeah, the weed whapper, yeah.
I think it's a whacker.
Well, each his own. No, let's see. What happened? Nothing. I took the kids to a park on Friday. I took the old lady out for a meal on Saturday and threw some food down her throat.
I have never called Michelle the old lady.
Not to her face.
I've never. I've never even behind her back called her the old lady.
I think generations of men in my family referred to their brides as the old lady.
never referred to Michelle as an old lady.
Doug calls me the old ball and chain.
I took the old, yeah. You've been married for like 15 minutes.
No, and that's all he ever calls me.
So we took the old lady out for a meal on Saturday. We went to a fancy meal for us. Maybe not for some people. Fancy meal for us. Texas, no, I'm kidding. We went to Donatello's for the first time.
Oh, that's
really?
fancy for anybody.
I've never been there.
First time at Donatello?
I've never been there.
Yeah, Donatello's great. It's, old school Italian, yeah.
So we walk into Donatello's and the maitre d', right? The guy, he walks up and he shakes my hand.
Probably Gino.
Yeah.
Yeah, Gino's the owner.
He shakes my hand. I don't know if it was the owner then. I don't know. Because all the guys there look like they could be a Gino. Or a Vito, or a
Dominic.
Vincenzo, or a Dominic, or an Angelo. And he walks up and he goes, hey, welcome, with his Italian accent. He goes, welcome to Donatello's, and he shakes my hand. And I'm like, hey. And I didn't know what to do next because I've never had a maitre d' walk up and shake my hand when I walk into the restaurant.
Is this the guy who shook your hand?
Yeah, that's the guy.
That's Gino.
That's Gino.
Yeah, that typically doesn't happen at Applebee's.
Yeah, I know. Usually they say, did you call for call-ahead seating? That's usually the kind of place I go. The guy, Gino, then, the owner, that's him?
Yes.
Okay, he shakes my hand. He's like, and of course he's, wonderful with my wife, and he sees me, a big clod. He shakes my hand, and I'm like, what now? And he's like, now I'm going to find out if I'm going to feed you dinner or not. Do you have a reservation? I didn't know what to do. He totally threw me off by shaking my hand when he walked in. We had a great experience there.
Yeah, it's great old school Italian. Yeah, absolutely.
First time we've been, but we had a lot of fun there. Yeah, it was. And then that's it.
All right, Froggy, you're next.
Oh, okay.
But we got to wait until after the break because I don't want to get too late here.
I figured.
Yeah.
Sorry.
And we start an hour and 20 minutes of nonstop MJ next. So we go an hour. This could be interesting, especially with my my situation. So
I gotta say, Froggy's is the only weekend I really want to hear about.
yeah. Oh, and wait till you hear the panic phone call that I get from Kim. Oh my God, what should we do? Oh my God. I mean, Kim was freaking I'm in the middle of my kidney situation here, and Kim is calling me in a panic. And I'm freaking roadside assistance again.
You market yourself as a roadside hero, so you got to be available at any time.
Hold on. We'll get to that next and a whole lot more. Long hour and 20 minutes of nonstop MJ Morning Show is next. And then a little recap on Tablet Tag, another successful giveaway concluded last week. So we're back in minutes here on the MJ Morning Show on Q105. Heads up. 725 MJ and a crew here. Again, my apologies. I am not 100%. I mean, I might be operating at about 65%. You know, I had a rough weekend, but instead of calling in sick, I figured, listen, it's better to do, listen, because our 65% show is better than most shows at 100%. Would you agree with that, Fester?
Absolutely.
Yeah, the numbers sound right on that. Yeah.
That's my math. So I figured Michelle's like, oh, you ought to stay home. And I'm like, no, I'm just gonna, I'd rather be, kind of miserable on the air versus just miserable at home.
You'd rather spread misery than just keep it to yourself.
But listen, at least, doing the show, it distracts me to a certain extent. So, I'm being honest here. You want a transparent honesty from the MJ Morning Show? You get that every day. And the point is that, I'm having a little bit of a rough recovery from my lithotripsy. But my urologist, I think, really pounded the hell out of that stone because there's still all kinds of rocks and gravel coming out. But it's kind of rough. So, between, the binding up from the narcotics, from the oxys, so I'm trying to figure out what's worse, like, not being able to go or the actual, pain of the little pieces and fragments of the stone passing through. So I've had like a double whammy all weekend long. Listen, I didn't leave the house.
Oh, we know.
Fester, why do you have a look of horror on your face?
Tired of hearing about your urethra.
I don't know that I'm alone on that, but I know more about your below the waist and above the knees part of your body, front and back, now than I ever.
Listen, I have to justify why my voice doesn't sound, 100%.
I think everybody gives you a pass.
But a lot of people might not know, so I just need to refresh people's memory here.
It's quite the buzz on the fan page about everybody concerned about your gonads and your rocks and your bits.
There's nothing to do with gonads. It has nothing to do with gonads. Why do you have to bring gonads into the conversation?
I mean,
it's got nothing to do with nads. Nads.
It rounds out the triumvirate of body parts.
It's no nads. No, there's nothing to do with gonads.
So your nads are the only good thing on you right now.
Dude, stop. Don't even bring it up.
How are the oxys affecting your nads?
I'm not taking the oxys. I stopped taking the oxys. The last oxys I took were on Friday because those things were just, it was like somebody poured concrete into my stomach and it just like hardened. And I need a jackhammer to bust that up. So I stopped taking the oxys. And I'm just taking the ketorolac or the
Bester, when I had kinesis, did I talk to you this much about it? I can't remember. Or was I really tough about it?
I mean, you were kind of a wimp too, but different wimp. Listen,
I kept to myself.
Froggy, this is quite the lead-in to hear about your holiday weekend.
Yeah, and listen, I'm just being honest and transparent that if I don't sound 100%, if the show is not, hitting on all cylinders today, it's because I feel pretty lousy. That's why. All right. So, Froggy, quickly, how was your holiday weekend? And then we'll discuss. In the middle of my misery, I've got Kim, Froggy's wife, is calling me in a freaking panic. Like I'm the shell answer man over here, I'm roadside assistance. All right, go ahead. What was your weekend like, Froggy?
Well, we just went to the beach with the family and hung out, did some fishing, did some metal detecting, did some magnet fishing.
What'd you find?
Nothing really. I was looking for a gun, hoping for some weaponry. Couldn't find anything.
What do you mean you were looking for a gun?
I'm always looking for weapons.
Where were you magnet fishing?
Out off of the Gulf there, behind some restaurants.
Okay, so
where I imagine.
Could you be any more?
I imagine
out
somebody
in the
would throw-
water near near the palm tree,
Yeah.
over by the road.
By the sand. On the
Sound
sand.
like a
right near Indian Shores area. Look for some.
Did you see a shark?
No, but we did see a manatee at the beach, which I've never seen before. Well, besides the time you came with us last year.
Yeah, besides that, you saw a legit manatee, in the Gulf?
Isn't that weird?
Isn't that awkward? Isn't that uncommon?
I found it kind of uncommon, but we had a good time at the beach.
I know there was a shark spotted at North Reddington.
Well, I know
Yeah.
Froggy was
Hey, by the way, surprise everybody. There are sharks in the Gulf of Mexico. Surprise.
Well, we were in the water the whole time. No issues with sharks.
But you generally don't see the fin cruising by as you're standing on the shore.
But then we had a car issue, and
Should I call Kim?
I don't care. Your show, bro. It was weird.
You said it's your show, Bo?
I said it's your show, bro.
Oh, bro.
You are out of it.
I thought you said bub. Was it bub? Bub? Was it bub?
Yeah, folks, I'm telling you right now, my voice is not 100%. My brain's not 100%. So, listen, I think it's just entertaining to see what I screw up this morning.
Need a back rub or something?
And not to mention the freaking computer that runs all the audio, that was all messed up 2 minutes ago.
Yeah.
So.
Ooh, and I saw your experiment, and that is disgusting.
Okay, I'm trying
What
to
experiment's that?
The office experiment.
Dude, that is outrageous.
Hang on, I'm going to post the pictures in a minute. We'll get to that next. So, Fester set up a
I can't believe it.
Fester set up a Mr. Science experiment over the weekend, which we'll get to in just a minute.
Have you seen it, Roxanne?
No, I have not.
Ugh.
It's going to gross you out.
Ew. I bet.
Mm-hmm.
All right, calling Kim, calling Froggy's wife. You ever have that feeling where you like having an outer body experience? You ever have the feeling where like you don't feel like you're entirely present? Mm-hmm. That's where I am right now. Hey, Kim, I think I heard you pick up.
Hi.
Good morning, Kim.
How are you? How you feeling?
Lousy,
Wait,
but
I don't even want to hear because you've already talked about it 8,000 times this morning.
So Kim,
You're listening.
Kim, in the middle of my misery on Sunday night, how is my roadside assistance in the middle of my misery, and you're calling me in a panic?
Let me be honest. Your roadside assistance was way more helpful than the BMW roadside assistance. I lit that lady up. I was so annoyed with them. She got lit up.
All right. So here's what happened. So Kim's X5, the door latch got moved out of position, and it happens with all cars occasionally. So
I'll be honest. I've driven Mazdas, Saturns, Hondas, Nissans. Never happened to any of those cars. happened to this one.
Saturn one. I remember the Saturn.
I have had it happen to other cars, so it's happened to me on
It was
multiple.
just this little rubber piece.
Yeah, it's either like a little metal clip or it's a plastic clip. Just the door latch, which latches onto like the metal post to actually lock your car or to close the door and secure it. Sometimes there's a little metal piece or a plastic latch that just gets pushed out of position, and then you like go to close the door and it's like a thud. It's like a and it just stops. And it's like, oh my God, what just happened? And the door does not close and latch. And it just like hits like a wall. And it just bounces open and your door won't close. So, Kim, I guess it happened to you. You guys were out at the beach house, right?
Yeah, we're out at the beach. It's 9:00 at night. I promised the kids Candy Kitchen. I mean, I had to tell Max at one point.
What the hell is Candy Kitchen?
Oh my God!
Ice
How do you not know
cream.
what Candy Kitchen is? It's the best ice cream on the beach.
Yeah,
It's
you don't
all
know about
homemade
Candy
ice
Kitchen?
cream.
You know what? I think if I dig into my memory bank, going back like 15 years, I think I've heard of Candy Kitchen.
Kim, has it been there for 50 years? To me, it feels like it has.
Yeah. So I've
Yeah, for
yes.
like 50 years, the original location.
Yeah, it's been a while. I haven't heard of. I haven't been there in. I might have been there 20 years ago.
All right.
So Max all day. Literally at one point, Roxanne, you'll appreciate this. Literally at one point, I looked at Max and I said, if you say Candy Kitchen to me one more time, I said, we're never going ever again. Never again. I'm like,
So they're just nagging and bugging and nagging and pressing and
negotiating
all day long. Candy Kitchen, Candy Kitchen. Mom, can we go to Candy Kitchen, Candy Kitchen, Candy Kitchen?
Right.
That kind of thing?
Yes. And I was just like, okay. So we watched the sunset. We were having fun playing on the beach. We were playing soccer. We were playing football. Now it's time to go to Candy Kitchen. I'm like, everybody get their stuff. Let's go. Let's get in the car. All I did was open the door. We all get in. I go to close my door, and it just like you said, it thudded and banged back open. I'm like, what the hell is going on? And so the reason I freaked out was because it's Sunday at 9:00 on Memorial Day weekend. Who the heck am I going to find to help me on Sunday night at 9:00 of Memorial Day weekend? No one. That's the answer.
Well, you know what the answer was? The answer was call MJ in my horrible pain and horrific stupor, in misery, lying on a couch, moaning and groaning with the sweats.
That was my idea, by the way.
Call MJ Roadside Assistance. And even in my misery, who helped you through the dilemma?
You did, but I just want you to know you were my second choice to call. I really tried not to bother you. I'm like, I got this sticker for roadside assistance on my windshield. I'm like, cool, let me call them. Their solution was, okay, number one, who asked for the last 7 digits of your VIN number? I'm like, are you kidding me?
I hate
I had to
that.
count from the right to get to 7 in, and then I had to go get my glasses.
Well, because they need to document the call. They need to just document the vehicle and what you're calling in about. Any roadside assistance, whoever you're calling is going to ask for that information.
So the last
How
7.
long is a VIN number? I mean, and to ask for the last 7 digits,
All right,
I was like, oh my God.
Kim,
it's annoying.
I will tell you, a VIN number is 17 digits long. And the last 7 tells the other person exactly what equipment is on your vehicle.
Exactly.
I mean, not just that you drive this vehicle and this make, but what every feature is of the vehicle. That's why it's a pain in the ass, but it's important.
Okay. So anyways, I'm trying to talk to her. I had to run inside and get my glasses because I can't see anything. My phone is connecting to my car. I keep disconnecting it. It keeps going in and out. I was like losing my mind. And then her solution was, okay, she's like, grab the door handle on the outside and pull it 5 times, and then get in the car and then pull the inside latch 5 times.
Right.
She made me do that 3 times. And she's like, okay. She's like, we can't do anything to help you. We don't have any master technicians for you to get on the phone with. And I'm like, well, can you send someone out? She's like, no, we don't do that kind of service. And I'm like, okay, so what do I do? She's like, you got to tow it to the dealership. I'm like, the dealership is in Lakeland. I mean, that's like an hour and 15 minutes away. Like, are you kidding me? I go, ma'am, I said, if I can't close my door, my battery is now going to die because the electronics and everything are going to be all lit up all night. And it's insecure on the street. Like, hey, anyone, just hop in my car and take it. It's here for your taking. Please, feel free.
I mean, they couldn't close the door, but
All
they
right,
could have taken the vehicle.
so the second call was to me, MJ, in my horrific medical condition.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And what did I tell you? What did I tell you to do?
You told me to push it, and I was like, "Well, do I really want to force this or
Well,
whatever?" But you're like,
All
no,
I
just
did was
push it.
open the handle again, and it fixed it.
What I said was inside the latch, there's like either a metal piece or a plastic piece. You just got to reset the piece inside the door. It's the catch that then goes around that metal post that clamps your door shut. And sometimes it just gets out of whack. It just gets a little out of sync, and it'll give the effect of it like having a blockade. Like you just close the door and it just goes boom, and it doesn't latch. So I just told them to, Froggy, didn't you stick your finger in? You pushed the little plastic piece.
I got a screwdriver. Like, what are you talking about, Froggy? I went in the house. I had to get a screwdriver to push it.
I'm saying that all I had to do was do that and then open the latch.
You know what I said? I said, oh, push it real good, push it. Oh, push it real good.
What was that, salt and pepper?
Yeah.
Ooh, baby.
Second time they made an appearance on the show today, by the way.
I like that Froggy was like, "Oh, it wasn't a big deal. He'd been drinking all day with his buddy, and medicating."
So they're at their wits' end. I'm in misery at home. They couldn't get a solution from roadside assistance. Then they call MJ couchside assistance.
Yes.
Yeah.
They call MJ kidney stone assistance, and I get the damn thing solved in 2 minutes.
Very good.
Yeah, and then I got to chit chat with you about your procedure, and and then hear about it all morning so far. So I couldn't cut that part out.
Well, thank you, Kim.
You're fired up today.
Listen, I feel like I'm having an outer body experience. I'm going to tell you, folks. I'm telling you right now. What are your kids? Tell your kids to shut up.
They're kids, MJ.
And get dressed. Go.
My God, what's going on? They murder each other back there.
It's the first day of summer, and it's like I have to go to the office. I got to drop them off. It's like I got things I got to do.
Yeah, why don't we let her go?
All right, Kim.
Go upstairs and get dressed. Go.
Kim, people are listening to you.
Kim,
People hear you, Kim.
Yeah, the neighbors
Kim,
here.
Sorry.
Kim, would you like to take the MJ Roadside Assistance Customer Survey Satisfaction?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh my gosh, the lady. She's like, I hope I will help. I hope I helped you with BMW roadside assistance. I go, you actually have been very unhelpful. She's like, is there anything else I can help you with? I go, you didn't help me with anything. I'm like, so have a good night.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate MJ's roadside assistance?
Oh my gosh, you know what? You're a 10 out of 10. Both times I've had to call you. You've been fantastic. Honestly, I told you when we got off the phone, I said if this whole radio thing doesn't work out, you could really up the game at the BMW roadside assistance in Tampa.
Do you think MJ would make a good road ranger?
Actually, it's not local. It's like a national call center.
It's a national
Yeah,
one.
they handle dealers all over the U.S. It's not local. If you got a hold of my buddies at Fields BMW, where you got your X5, where I get all my BMWs, they would have been able to walk you through it as well in 2 seconds flat. But listen, Sunday night at 9 p.m. on Memorial Day weekend, a little difficult getting a hold of somebody. I get it.
Correct.
But guess who was available for you?
You've been 2 out of 2 times. I've reached out to you twice with issues with my vehicle, and you've helped me both times. So I thank you. You're fabulous.
So you would say you're very, very satisfied with MJ
Very
Roadside?
satisfied.
Very satisfied.
Very satisfied.
I thank you, Kim. Goodbye.
Oh, bye.
All right, so, folks, I'm going to tell you right now, I'm a little loopy, but it's I'm not on the narcotics anymore. I'm not on Oxy. I stopped taking the Oxy for the kidney stone pain on Friday because I didn't like what the Oxys were doing. So I stopped it. So I'm just taking the Ketorolac, which is a Toradol, and that's really just like an NSAID. But for whatever reason, I feel a little outer body right now. So enjoy what could be a somewhat irregular program, because I got to be honest. I always have a good grounding. I always have an idea of. I always know the parameters of the show. I always know, where things are going. I always know, what things sound like. I'm telling you right now, for whatever reason, I am totally 100% off kilter today.
You don't have the awareness you usually do.
That's the word. I can't even think of the damn word. So I don't have the typical awareness on today's show. So I don't know what's going to happen, But I'm just, I'm not hitting on all cylinders. I'm not. Like right now, as I sit here, I don't have as much of the kidney pain. I got to be close to passing the stones because, they took a 10 millimeter stone and they blew it to bits. And I've just been passing the rocks and the gravel, like some like pink pieces, some black pieces. And they just like every time stuff's coming out, but it's got to be almost done. I got like a jar full of the crap already, so it's got to be almost done. But listen, I just want to let you know that if the show sounds a little weird today, it is because I'm really, really weird right now, okay?
The kick in the head about all this is if you wouldn't say anything, I don't think many people would even
I don't know.
it.
I mean, I hear it in my, I hear that I am, I don't hear normalcy in my head. I hear that I'm like in some kind of la-la land.
When I was in the car on Friday and I listened to you just for like 3 sentences, your voice sounded weird. But it doesn't sound as weird right now. It sounded like wah, wah, wah. It just sounded bizarre.
See, I'm supposed to call Bo Zimmer in about 20 minutes. Bo Zimmer is with communications at Tampa International Airport. And Bo used to be a longtime reporter at Channel 10.
Right.
And he left Channel 10. He does communications now for Tampa International Airport. That's a big job because they got a lot of stuff going on. And Tampa International Airport, they've approached me to record a special announcement for the trams. The red air side, the blue air side, to the different terminals, A and E and F and
The air
C.
sides.
Yeah.
They don't have every letter, do they? I don't
No,
know.
they do not. They do not. They have 4 letters.
But they're missing a few,
Yeah, they are.
and they are building a new terminal in the next, I think, 10 years or whatever. So anyway, they've asked me to record a special charity announcement. So we're going to get Bo Zimmer on, but I was going to record it live on the air. I was going to read the script live and record it like on the air. But I don't know if my voice sounds good enough to record it. So we'll get Bo Zimmer on in about 20 minutes, 15 minutes, and we'll see what my hard deadline is to get the recordings done because I want my voice to be 100%, but it's not. Just being honest. My brain's not 100%. My body's not 100%. My voice, nothing on me is 100% right now.
Well, I just want to fill you in the air sides. If you guys are wondering, they have A, C, E, and F.
I think that's what I said.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I was not listening to you.
Yeah.
Sorry.
A, C.
I'm looking that up.
I did actually say that.
Okay. You are.
So
Then look who's missing brain cells today. Maybe it's me.
Even in my total stupor, I still know all the air sides
That's
that
amazing.
are at Tampa International Airport. So we will call Bo Zimmer in just a bit. Stand by. You want to hear something scary?
Terrifying.
Are you mocking me?
No.
You're mocking me.
No, I want to hear something really, really, really scary.
You're mocking me. All right, so 237 cars on the road in Florida are on the Carfax do not drive list, meaning there are such mechanical problems. There are recalls of massive danger that the cars should not be on the road.
That's not good.
No, that's not good at all. 237,000 cars on the road.
What the hell?
Yeah, listen to this. This is brand new data released from Carfax, shows 2.5 million cars in the nation have safety recalls that are so urgent they should be treated as do not drive or park outside. So, well,
that's a fire hazard,
well,
right?
hold on. You know what park outside means, don't you?
Park outside and 30 feet away from your house. That warning.
Yeah, park outside is. That's like your garage and house could go up in flames like fireball. Yeah, park outside means that your car could catch on fire and take your whole house down.
We have a buddy whose car ignited in their garage.
Who's that?
What?
Eric Chase.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, it burned down half his house.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How did that happen?
Yeah.
I remember I called him. I was like, "Hey, man, what's going on?" He's like, "Well, my house almost burned down." I'm like, "Oh, crap."
Like, oh, my God.
Sorry to hear it.
Yeah, because he had a car that was being recalled for and I guess he didn't get the notice quick enough, and the car caught on fire in his garage.
He was the cause of the recall. I mean, well,
No, I think there were. I remember. I remember what the story was, and there were multiple. There were multiple issues around the country, but 2.5 million cars in the whole country are on the do not drive or park outside list, and 237,000 are here in Florida, and 58,000 are here in the Tampa Bay area. I'm looking at this release from Carfax. I mean, this is unbelievable. I mean, do you realize right now, you could be driving to work right now, and you are driving next to a car that could endanger your life because it should not be on the road. 58,000 vehicles right here in the Tampa Bay area, according to these stats from Carfax. You know, these could be cars that could burst into flames. There are still a lot of issues with airbags. You know, there are still some of those old Takata airbags that could just go off randomly. And, you know, somebody gets a big old face full of shrapnel with an airbag problem. You know, next thing you know, they're careening into you, on I-75 at 80 miles an hour. That's a problem. So I just want you to be careful. You know, just be alert. You know, just drive. Don't do other things. Just drive and pay attention, because that's a lot of cars. It's not like 10 cars. It's not like 15 cars. It's 58,000 cars in just the Tampa Bay area are on the park outside or do not drive list, according to Carfax.
I don't want to be on the park outside list.
No.
Do not keep in your garage list.
Park far from your home list. Park way out in the middle of the street. Make sure it doesn't even catch shrubs on fire. Park it in a mall parking lot. Way out.
Away from brush.
But I saw this number. When I saw this little PR Newswire piece from Carfax, I'm like, holy crap. I mean, those are some serious numbers. 2.5 million cars nationwide, 237,000 cars in Florida, and then 58,000 right here in the Tampa Bay area. That's pretty serious stuff. All right, do you want to hear something pretty gross?
After everything we've talked about today, I don't know that I could be surprised much more.
We'll get to your science experiment in just a few minutes. Should we take calls on how does the show sound? Because I have no guidance today. I'm missing like all of the parameters that tell me that what I'm doing is okay.
It sounds fine.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Your voice sounds fine.
Just keep going.
I think you sound like hell. I think you should take calls.
You sound like hell, but it's fine.
My voice doesn't sound.
It doesn't help that it's 100 degrees in here.
It's not. Your voice isn't anything like it was on Friday.
I thought it sounded better on Friday.
No, you sounded like you're high. You're an oxy.
I don't
Well,
see.
I was on Oxy.
I know, I
That's
could
why.
hear it in
That's
your
why.
voice.
That's why I could not drive in, and I couldn't drive home. That's why Fester picked me up, because I wasn't driving on narcotics.
I don't see what the point of taking calls would be. Oh, this is Larry and Largo. You sound great. This is Jim and Valerica. You sound like crap.
It's not going to go like that.
That's exactly how it's going to go.
All right, hang on a minute. I gotta send a message to my. Hang on a minute.
Thanks, Larry and Largo.
Okay, do you want us to talk while you're sending messages to
No,
people?
no. I'm almost out of my pain pill. Hold on a minute.
You got to reorder?
It's
not?
It's the non-narcotic. Hold on a minute.
Okay.
Hi, Doc. I'm almost out of Toradol. Can I get a script called in to the Publix on West Shore across from the mall? Thanks.
Do you find that you get really irritated with people if you're trying to send a text like that and say you're just like what MJ just did, and then someone else thinks you're talking to them?
Yes.
I want to kill people when they do that to me.
I'm a talk to texter in the car.
Yeah.
And then the kids will say something in the
Yes.
background. I'm like,
And-
would you kids shut up?
Yes.
Hold on. I'm sorry. Publix on. I can't even think straight. Publix on Kennedy and West Shore. Thanks.
Okay.
All right. Hold on. All right. Just sent that to the doc.
Good.
Yeah. All right. So we got to talk about Fester's science experiment over the weekend, and it, I think, worked exactly as you expected.
Oh, I think it worked better than I expected. I actually complained about this or mentioned this to the administrative staff here last week, and not that it's their fault, but they were going to put in a request for a service.
Yeah.
And I just said, let me just prove a point this weekend. And I did.
Let me get to this first, then I'll get to the somewhat gross item. Not that this isn't gross, because this is gross as well. I used the restroom this morning because I'm kind of using the restroom quite a bit. And there's no soap in the men's room. And I'm like hitting the pump. And nothing's coming out. That's on the right sink. Then I go to the left sink and nothing's coming out of the pump for the soap on the left sink. And then I start slamming because I'm getting angry. I'm like, what the hell? There's no freaking soap in the men's room? So I start hitting it. And then this crazy gelatinous dark sludge comes out of the soap dispenser. And it had like some kind of an old funky, like transmission fluid, pasty smell to it. I'm like, what the hell is this? So I don't even know what the hell. And by the way, it's all over because when I was hitting it was flying all over the sink. So it's all over the bathroom right now.
Gross.
So if you want to go take a look at it, it's all over the place. But didn't we get like new maintenance in here didn't we get like new housekeeping services?
I don't know.
What are they, armless?
I don't know what. I mean, is it too much to ask that we have soap in the bathrooms?
Ooh.
Am I really asking for too much?
Well, if you wanted soap in the bathroom, that's the B plan. You guys got the.
They hardly ever have. You're lucky if you get some
Yeah.
paper towel, too. Sometimes you have to shove your fingers up there when they're wet and pull some down.
Anyway, so we'll get to the gross item in just a minute. First, though, let me get the Fester scientific experiment.
Which is also gross.
Different gross.
It is. Fester on Friday. Sorry, I got the coughs too, folks. Voice isn't right. I'm coughing. My brain's not right. My body doesn't feel right. All right, so Fester,
Yes.
you went to the freezer and you dipped into some of the supply of Bluebell pints that they dropped off, right?
Wednesday, the company had their Memorial Day weekend company barbecue. And the great folks from Bluebell Ice Cream came by with their brand new flavor, Dr. Pepper Float. And they brought like a semi-truck full of this stuff. Loaded the freezer up with it, with the pints, with the half gallons.
So Wednesday was like a summer kickoff barbecue.
Right.
Fester was enlisted to operate the barbecue. And obviously they called in some favors. So Bluebell is a sponsor on a bunch of our radio stations. So Bluebell dropped off a whole bunch of ice cream.
Yes.
And therefore, there was ice cream left over. So it ended up in the radio station kitchen in the freezer.
And then it's kind of like a free-for-all. If you want one, take one. It's there to be had.
Right. So on Friday, Fester says, while eating a Dr. Pepper Float new flavor of Bluebell ice cream, Fester's like, I'm going to eat most of this pint, but I'm going to leave just a little bit, and I'm going to put it on the desk in the morning show office. And when we get back on Monday, it is going to be crawling with ants. It's going to be like an ant farm.
Yeah.
And guess what?
I left this alone for 3 whole days. I mean, I put this out Friday at 10 o'clock, and it was like, set it and forget it. Whatever happened, happened. And this is what happened.
Well, take a look. I put the pictures up on my Instagram.
Doesn't anybody clean the offices?
Okay, define clean. I mean, empty the trash a couple times a week? Yeah. But
Yeah, but
clean?
wouldn't somebody see that?
Listen, I'm going to tell you right now that our cleaning service here, and I think we have a new one. I think they got rid of the old cleaning service, but it is worse than any of the lazy mow and blows. You know what a mow and blow is?
Yeah.
I think I saw that movie.
It's not a movie.
What is it? What's a mow?
If it's not a movie, then I don't
Come
know
on.
what it is.
Hold on. You don't know what mow and blow is?
It sounds pretty, I don't know.
Tell us the premise of the movie, Froggy.
Roxanne, what do you think mow and blow is?
Well, now that they're saying it's a movie, now I'm thinking it's something dirty.
Is it when they blow the grass onto the street?
It's not dirty. It's a mow and blow. When you have kind of like a down and dirty, cheap lawn care company that they don't really do a lot of your yard work, it's a mow and blow. They come by, they mow your yard, and they blow the crap all off your driveway. That is a mow and blow.
That's all they do. That's what all of them do.
Well, listen, there are different tiers of of landscape guys.
Some of them do edging, some of them trim
Yeah.
hedges, some of
Yeah.
them pull
I mean,
weeds,
but-
some of them do
but
chemicals.
There are plenty of the so-called mow and blows here in Florida where they're just it's minimum amount of work. They're mowing your yard and they're blowing the stuff in the street. That's called a mow and blow.
If I had a lawn company, that's exactly what I would name it. Mow and blow lawn service. Right out there.
There should be fat ass lazy
That's it.
mow blow.
Just give me a 0 turn. I won't even get off. You just keep me on the back of the trailer. Just drive me around.
Fester would be the epitome of mow and blow.
That's right.
Yeah.
I love it.
So our cleaning crew here, I think they're also, the equivalent of even lazier than mow and blow. I don't know what they're doing.
They're just the blow.
Right.
It's that bad.
So Fester leaves the Bluebell container mostly eaten with just a little bit of ice cream on the cap, on the desk in the morning show office, and it's crawling with ants. And if you'd like to see the little science experiment, on Friday, Fester said, "Hey, I'm leaving this on the office desk. Let's see what happens when we get back on Monday morning or Tuesday morning. It's going to be loaded with ants." And guess what? It is. So I took some still shots. I took a wide shot, then I took a close-up, and the ants are all over the desk, so they're still like streaming in to get their little piece of the new Bluebell flavor.
The word got around.
Yeah, the word got around.
They're all over the desk, just like roaming around, hanging out.
Hey, second floor at the radio station. Yeah, there's ice cream in there. Come on by. It's in the morning show office.
Let's go, guys.
So if you want to see the experiment that actually paid off perfectly, the images of the ants on the almost empty ice cream container, they're on my Instagram right now. Certified MJ Radio. That's Certified MJ Radio. So take a look at those. And then if you haven't seen the video of me with the bag over my head yesterday, talking about my condition from my home office, take a look at that.
Bag over your head. What is up with you?
Listen, I look hideous. I look so bad. I mean, what do I look like now? What do I look like on MJTV?
I mean, what did you look like in 2016? I mean, you're very ugly man.
Stop it. You're
crap.
rude.
Come on.
You're so mean.
What is wrong with you?
He's not
Rude.
good looking.
What do you? We stop. All right, am I an ugly man,
No,
Roxanne?
you're very presentable.
Roxanne, do you think I'm an ugly?
I just said you're very presentable. I'm not going to say you're good looking. I'm not going to offend Michelle like that and talk about your looks.
Do you think I'm an ugly man?
Not at all.
I'm not going
Not
to.
at all.
But I'm not good looking. I'm just presentable.
MJ, does Michelle want me to be talking about whether you're hot or not?
No,
Is
that's-
that really respectful?
There's no.
I'm not going to talk about any
Am
of it.
am I a hideous ugly man?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
It's
Like
wrong.
actually, when I see photos of you, MJ, when you and Michelle are all dolled up and you have that woman on your arm, I think you're very good looking.
Is Froggy
Like when you
presentable?
have Michelle on your arm.
Is Froggy presentable?
Yes.
Same for him.
Is,
Fester,
When I see pictures of
what?
him and Kim
Andrew,
together.
is Andrew presentable?
Yes.
Andrew's super hot.
Absolutely.
You're projecting, Fester.
I'm not.
You're a projector.
What?
You are. You know what, Fester?
People say Fester is a large, rude man.
Damn right.
I gave up lying for Lent back in 2012, and I've kept up with it, man. That's it. Only call it like I see it. Only preach the truth.
It is 8:00 at the MJ Morning Show here on Q105. So, what was the other? I have the other gross thing I wanted to talk about. So we've got the ice cream experiment. If you want to see the images of the ants in the office, where is it? Why is it not on the Instagram all of a sudden?
I don't know.
What'd you do?
I don't know. I'll go back to my feed. It's on the feed, right? And
Hit refresh.
I gotta refresh. Okay, that's fine.
Hit refresh. Just leave
Refresh.
the computer alone. I'll refresh it.
Refresh it. There you go.
Would that happen if you put it like anywhere
Yeah, there it
else?
is. What?
Wouldn't ants go on at any time?
Well, I was in the office last week because we had like some terrible corporate meeting that we had to like all zoom in on, right? And I'm in the office and there's like a black ant just like walking out of nowhere. There's nothing on the desk. And I'm like, and I've always heard if there's one, there's 1,000. I've always heard that, right? Like the roaches or ants, if you see one or two, there's a bunch of them. So I was like, I wonder if I could set a trap and pull some of these out. And I think I pulled out all of them. I hope. I mean, if there's this many, then that means there's millions in the walls. And
Oh.
in the corners.
Oh, this place is like probably the world's largest ant farm.
Yeah.
Yeah, this building. All right, so this is kind of gross. According to Trojan, now when I say Trojan, what immediately comes to mind? Just
Condoms.
what?
Condoms.
Sounded like you said mondoms.
I was going to say Trojan War.
I mean, the history Trojans.
Right.
University of Southern California. or
No.
something, or-
So Festa's going to go with the Trojans from USC.
Yeah, USC Trojans.
O.J. Simpson.
Froggy's going to go with the
Trojan horse.
Trojan horse.
Yeah.
And Roxanne just gravitates instantly to condoms.
Or mondoms, or whatever she said.
Didn't it sound like mondoms?
A little bit.
It did. It was like, mondom. What the hell's a mondom?
Which one? Well, who's right?
Roxanne's correct. Yes, it is.
It's mondoms.
According to a survey commissioned by Trojan Condoms, 1 in 8 men under 35 bring condoms to funerals just in case they get lucky.
Oh, yeah, because grief is a real horniness thing. Like
What?
that. There's an actual, if you Google it, grief and sex go hand in hand.
Are you kidding me?
No.
This is crazy. Nearly 1 in 8 men 35 and under admit to bringing a protection condom to a funeral just in case. The condom brand found in an online survey of 2,000 adults aged 18 to 35 in the United States. Meanwhile, about 1 in 4 millennials brought protection to their high school reunion, which is not nearly as kind of a sicko, morbid scenario, right?
You know, think about these funerals, though, MJ. I mean, unless you're like directly associated with the person in the box, I mean, you know, there's a lot of people who are just kind of melancholy, not overly distraught, and it's a big social gathering.
All right, listen.
Then mix in some alcohol after.
Has anybody hooked up at a funeral?
Everybody's in a
Should we
little
go
black
to
dress.
We got to go to phones on this.
Right?
And I got to be honest, I kind of need all the help I can get today.
Yeah.
So, do you think we'll get calls on this? Folks,
Yes, I do, because I've heard some stories myself.
Folks, have you ever been to a funeral and hooked up? Have you ever gotten it on at a funeral? Or you met at the funeral, then you took it to somewhere else? Has a funeral ever prompted you to have relations? Well, I'm not making this up. I mean, 1 in 8 men under 35, according to Trojan Condoms, brings a condom to a funeral just in case
I mean, they would be the authority on the subject.
there's the ability to hook up. Let's go to phones on this. I have no idea. I have no idea what's going to happen here. Have you ever hooked up at a funeral? Or do you have a story? Do you know somebody? 800-990-1047. 800-990-1047. That's how you get on. 800. Sorry, folks.
You're doing good. You're doing good.
I'm trying, man.
Doing
I'm
good.
trying. 800-990-1047. That's the number to get in. 800-990-1047. Have you ever hooked up at a funeral? Or have you ever heard?
Oh my God.
Sounds like I'm about to have my funeral here.
Well, you're not going to have your funeral. You're fine. Doesn't get it out.
I'm looking online. This is a really common thing. So
What are you looking at online?
Where do they do it at the funeral you're talking
yeah,
about?
there
Or
are
at the
people
party?
who actually like hook up. You know, I don't know if they do it at the church or where the service is held, but you know, maybe a party after. But when someone dies, you want to sometimes, you know, make feel alive. So sex makes you feel alive, and then you want to engage in risky behavior, and then you also want to feel close bond to
Hold on.
someone. So it's a recipe.
What are
for
you reading this from?
Experience.
I thought you were reading it
No,
from.
no, I'm just kidding. I'm reading it from something right here.
Have you ever hooked up at a funeral?
No, I have
It
not.
sounds
ever
like
hooked up-
Roxanne's hooked up at every funeral she's ever been to, the way she's rattling that off. You know, you want to feel closer to somebody. You want to feel bonding.
No, it's just the psychology of grief. But in any case,
Hey,
this
phones
is
are
gonna-
lighting up.
Yep, I'm telling you. And I did hear, this is not my friend, but it was a friend of a friend who she hooked up with someone at a funeral at the service in like a closet somewhere.
What?
Okay.
And
Those are called confessionals.
Hold on.
Okay? Okay, they're closets. Okay.
Well,
They have
you
a
had
little screen.
you had a friend that hooked up
A
at a
friend of a-
funeral in a
Yes.
closet
A friend of a friend.
at a funeral home or a church.
I think of the church. And
Are you kidding me?
no, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, I feel like there was some relations there, like a third cousin or something.
What?
What, got it on with a third cousin?
Yeah, that's, I mean, maybe the story got
My
exaggerated. I
God.
didn't hear it from her firsthand.
Oh,
That
let's-
is horrendous.
Let's go to phones. We had Marlene on line 1. She got cold feet, I guess. Folks, have you ever heard of anyone getting it on at a funeral? Have you ever heard of anyone having relations? Anybody hooking up at a funeral? 800-990-1047. 800-990-1047 is how you get in. Tony's in Largo. Hey, Tony, you're on the MJ Morning Show. Hi.
Good morning.
Yes.
Well, a girlfriend of mine, about 30 years ago, went to this funeral. She didn't know anybody there, and she hooked up with this guy, went to a hotel, and they've been together ever since.
Aw.
Well, that worked out.
Well, and whose funeral was it?
She didn't even know the person. It was a friend of a friend of a neighbor.
So she went to a funeral for someone she didn't even know?
Yeah, just as a courtesy to her neighbor, I guess it was.
So they hook up
Something.
at the funeral, they do it, and then they got married?
They got married. A year later, they were married, and they're still together happily ever after.
Wow. Now, there you go. That's why we're taking phone calls here. Thank you, Tony. Appreciate it.
No problem.
All right, let me grab Kevin in Port Richey. Kevin, you're on the MJ Morning Show. Hi.
How are you?
Doing fine, Kevin. What's the story?
All right, the story is 1984. A bunch of teenagers in my neighborhood hanging out. I got one of the girls pregnant. 4 years later, one of the neighborhood guys was killed in an accident. I had never seen the girl again after she got pregnant. I was now married and had kids, and she shows up at the funeral. After the funeral, everyone goes and has a few drinks for a luncheon, and we ended up screwing in the car.
Golly.
Well, I went ahead and I dumped the graphic language.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
We
we're-
ended up having relations.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. You ended up having relations in a car. Yeah.
Good
Yeah.
for you.
And never saw her again since then, and now I'm 58, so I'm okay. I don't think it'll happen again.
All right, thank you, Kevin. Appreciate it. So, a couple of calls on funeral hookups. But according to Trojan brand condoms, 1 in 8 men under 35 bring condoms to funerals because they just might get lucky.
Well, they probably bring them everywhere, too, those under 35-year-olds. Hey, remember Wedding Crashers? Chaz? Will Ferrell's character, Chaz, in Wedding Crashers? He went. That's what he did. He trolled funerals to try to hook up with women.
Like grief hookups?
Yes.
At the end of the movie, that was
Yes.
the conclusion. Forget weddings, go to funerals. Or not. MJ, I think the number is straight on. Think about it. A funeral is a big social event where there's a lot of people. It's a good single mixer.
Yeah.
And you want to have like intimate conversations and, you know.
Intimate moments.
No, I don't have intimate conversations.
Hey, did you see that a guy was doused with gasoline and then set on fire at a Tampa gas station?
Where'd that happen?
Yeah, I did see that.
What
That's insane.
at the I think it's near your house. At the mobile gas station on Bears and 22nd Street. How far is that from your house?
Where's 22nd?
I don't know. You tell me.
I don't know.
You live off of Bears. I don't.
I mean, I don't. I'm trying to think off the top of my head. No, I think is that near Brisby Downs?
I don't know. A man was taken to the hospital after another person doused him with gasoline and then lit him up. This happened Sunday afternoon. This is according to the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office. Deputies were sent to the mobile gas station at Bears or Beers.
Beers.
Beers is the correct way to say it,
Yeah,
actually.
it's right by the Taco Bell on Bears. Yeah.
So now you suddenly know where it is.
Well, I mean, yeah, I live on the other side. I live on the Carrollwood side of
All right.
Bears. But yeah, it's between Nebraska and Bruce B. Downs.
There apparently was an argument between a guy by the name of Earl Hargrove Jr., who's 34, and another individual. And then, according to the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office, things got out of hand. Hargrove apparently took a small amount of gasoline and doused the other man with the gas and then lit him up with a flame, with I guess a lighter.
Wow, that sucks.
The Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office said that the individual that was set on fire was taken to Tampa General Hospital with life-threatening injuries. And as of yesterday morning, he was in critical condition. According to Sheriff Chad Chronister, a verbal argument, this is a quote from Sheriff Chronister, a verbal argument should never escalate to this level of violence. This suspect's behavior is not only deplorable, but will never be tolerated in our community. The suspect in this case is currently behind bars while we wait in anticipation for justice to be served. And Hargrove was charged with aggravated battery, great bodily harm, and attempted murder in the first degree. And if anyone has any information, if anyone has anything else that they can add to the story, any of the witnesses, anyone that can fill in blanks, please call the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office at 813-247-8200. But, I mean, that's horrific. You get into some kind of verbal spat, and at the gas station, you take some of the gas from the nozzle and you douse another individual, then light them up? What kind of a sick, demented being do you have to be to do that?
I saw a video of a guy getting gas one time, and somebody just walked up and put a lighter up to the gas tank, and it just went up. Now that's all I think about.
The fumes is what gets it.
It's pretty freaky. People are nuts, you know?
Yeah.
No, that's true. People are freaking nuts. 100%. People are absolutely out of their minds.
Don't mess around at gas stations.
Yeah.
Got to keep your head on a swivel.
I got a couple of airline stories here and airplane stories, and then I think it would be great for me to get Bo Zimmer on the line from Tampa International Airport and then talk about what they want me to record. And guys, do you think my voice is okay to record the shuttle?
Yes.
Recording? You do?
No.
Yes.
You need to wait for it to clear up a little bit.
So hold on, Roxanne, you say yes.
Because you're not going to be, how much text do you have to read?
I've got to read several announcements for inbound and outbound. I've got to read a script for the shuttle going to the gates, and then I've got to read text for the shuttle recording leaving the airsides coming to the terminal to baggage claim. So maybe I'll give it a test in a little bit.
You can do it. Just drink some honey and lemon and hot water and just belt it out.
Today's not your day, man.
I was reading, and I don't know, this kind of took off on social media over the weekend about, don't be the stupid person on the airplane that takes their coats and jams them up in the overhead cabin in the compartment before everyone gets their luggage in.
Okay, yeah.
So now this is really an issue. There are, and I see it all the time, people will take their jackets or they'll take items that can easily go under the seat in front of them.
I don't want my coat on the disgusting floor.
But wait a minute. But then you wait until the overhead bins have been filled with actual carry-on luggage, and then you typically are able to place your jacket on top of luggage. That's the point here, is that you have people that in a very discourteous fashion, they will, and listen, summer travel, we just had a very busy Memorial Day weekend, tons and tons of people, millions and millions of Americans were screened at TSA locations all across the country. So heavy air travel over the weekend. And I know people ran into this. You've got flights that are pretty much all full these days. The number of flights have been reduced. So the airline industry is running more full capacity. The load factors on these flights are strong. They're filling flights. There's just not a lot of empty planes that are flying. The days of being on a half-empty plane, that's the rarity. I mean, it'll happen occasionally, but it's the absolute rarity these days. So when you have all these people flying and people, prefer to carry on their luggage, because, listen, I don't want to wait for my bag. It's very rare that we check baggage. Coming back from Connecticut this Sunday, after Julian graduates on Saturday up in Connecticut from his high school, after he comes back, we're going to have to check bags because we got some big, huge duffels bringing his, final clothes back. So we're going to have to check bags. But typically, our whole family, we can go on vacation for 2 weeks overseas, and we have a wheelie and we have a backpack. Each of us has 2 pieces that we can all bring on the airplane. Backpack under the seat in front of us, and the wheelie goes in the overhead bin. The problem is you have people that are taking these little small items. Like someone will take a little gift bag or something and put it up in the overhead bin.
Yeah.
Or someone takes a jacket and they'll put it in the overhead bin. Listen, not that you can't find overhead bin space later. Don't clog up the bin. Don't screw up the boarding process. Let people put their overhead baggage in the overhead bins. And then once everyone's boarded, you typically can find a place for smaller items if you don't want to be bothered with them having, being put on the underneath the seat in front of you. But, again, flight attendants, they have a big issue with this. It's like, don't be that person that just immediately gets on the plane and you fold up your jacket or you fold up, little small things and you put them up in the overhead bin. Put stuff that's small under the seat in front of you, and then the actual coat, just hold it till the very end.
Yeah, good luck with that. I get on the plane, I'm buckling in, sitting down, I'm not getting back up.
So that's a big issue. Did you see what happened late last week?
Did somebody put their coat in the overhead bin?
No, there's a whole different thing. Southwest Airlines pilot, I don't know what's going on here, but I think this is the second time I've seen Southwest have to do this. The pilots were locked out of the cockpit, so the pilot had to get ground crew people to get like a ladder to help him get up. Did you see? Bring up the image here. The captain had to climb through the cockpit windows from the outside to get into the airplane, or else the plane was going to be massively delayed.
I tell you what, man, that would not work with a fat pilot because those windows are really, really
they're really
small.
Yeah, they are. I mean, you got to pick the smaller of the pilots. So look at this. They had to bring some stairs. Look at this. They had to bring some roller stairs up to the side of the Southwest 737. And you could see the pilot is climbing through the right side of the airplane where the first officer sits. So they're able to open the window from the outside, and he's climbing in to unlock the cockpit door. And I'm telling you, this is like the second time I've seen this on Southwest in, I think, the last 6 months.
So it looks like just an oversight on the pilot's part.
No joke. Let me tell you what happened here. No joke. This is a social media post on Twitter, it looks like. No joke. Yesterday, last passenger got off the plane, no one else on board, and he shut the cockpit door. It locked. Pilot having to crawl through cockpit window to open door so he can board. And then it's tagged at Southwest Air.
Too bad he's not one of your friends. He probably could have called you and you could have walked him through how to unlock the door.
Oh, really?
Like
wow,
you helped.
That's really fun. That's actually really funny.
Like,
yeah,
that's your expertise.
MJ roadside assistance for Froggy and his family this weekend.
Yeah, and you know so much about planes. It makes perfect sense.
MJ airside assistance.
Ramside assistance?
Yes.
So here's the deal. It happened in San Diego. A Southwest Airlines pilot had to get the maintenance ground crew folks to get one of those metal rolling ladders to go to the side of the plane, to climb up, to then open up the cockpit window to climb inside. This is apparently what happened. This is according to Southwest, and I had no idea that this can lock the crew out.
Is there not a master key somewhere? I know it's for security and to keep, people from getting to the cockpit.
Well, they have the touchpad, and whatever happened in the cycle of this cockpit door getting closed, it had to be opened from the inside. There was no way to open it from the outside without some kind of major long maintenance delay. So here's what apparently happened. In a statement to CBS News, Southwest Airlines said during the boarding process, a customer opened the forward lavatory door and inadvertently pushed the flight deck door closed, which locked. While the pilots scheduled to operate the flight were preparing to board the aircraft, one of our pilots unlocked the door from the flight deck window, and the flight departed as scheduled. So on the 737, it all depends on the configuration, but on the 737, at least, a lot of the Southwest flights, at the very front of the plane, you've got the exit door, you've got the forward exit door on the left that you enter and exit the airplane, and then right in front of that, you typically have a lavatory on the left side, just in front of the galley. And then right beyond that is the cockpit door. So when you open up, and I can see this in my head because I've been on a jillion 737s. So what happened was the cockpit door apparently was opened, and somehow the passenger went to the bathroom while I guess was one of the last ones off and decided to use the lavatory on the way out, opened the bathroom door, and that's what closed the cockpit door, and the pilots were not in the cabin yet. And they got locked out before the new passengers that were getting ready to board the aircraft had gotten on the airplane.
I'm actually surprised this doesn't happen more often.
Man, that's crazy. But hey, listen, the flight was not delayed much. The pilot, listen, I know that you can open up the cockpit windows from the. I know you can access and open the cockpit windows from inside the cockpit. I didn't know that you could open the cockpit window from the outside.
Yeah, neither did a plane thief. They're like, oh, this is the best information ever. You want to steal a jet?
Why would they make the windows? You can open them up there. That's stupid.
I mean, for a reason just like this. But if I'm stealing planes, I would never have thought that the window could be open from the outside. Just slide it over like a sliding glass door, like you're walking into the pool area to the lanai.
So, I've got a bunch of 737 friends. I'm going to ask them about that. But they accessed it from the outside, which is interesting. Hey, do you remember on Friday we had that crazy airline story? What? Oh, you weren't here on Friday. What was the crazy story that we had on Friday?
Oh, I saw more video over the weekend of the door that was opened up mid-flight. I saw the other angle video.
So there's an angle from like the front. So I don't know, almost like a flight attendant took that video. But this is the Asiana. This is an Asian airline, Asiana, and they fly to the U.S. In fact, remember they struck the tail while landing at San Francisco International some years ago?
That was that airline. Okay.
It was Asiana.
Yeah, we were talking about that over the weekend, yes.
No, you
I don't remember.
Why did you be a wise ass?
Did you remember Asiana in 2014?
I'm not feeling well. Please just don't be a wise ass.
How are those guys up front so calm? Like, they were just like sitting there while their clothes were getting blown.
Yeah, right? I mean,
I would have been horrified. I would have been screaming.
Now, here's what happened. There was a flight that was leaving the southern island of Jeju off the coast of South Korea, flying back to the Korean mainland, and a passenger opened up the freaking door. I mean, first of all, you're not supposed to be able to do that while the aircraft is pressurized at altitude. Now, I guess the reports were that the flight was only at 700 or 800 feet, that it was coming in for a landing.
Whatever.
But, I mean, this is insane. The South Korean airline passenger who opened the emergency exit door of an airplane while airborne, claiming he needed to get off quickly, has been arrested for the bizarre caught-on-video situation. There are multiple angles. And remember, we talked about this on Friday's show. And you had people in that exit row, because a lot of times you'll have the exit row and your seats will just be there'll be a sort of a bulkhead in front of you and then the exit row. So you don't have a tray table in front of you. You don't have a seat back in front of you. But did you see those people There were like 3 people. This was an Airbus A321. So it's 3 and 3. So you have 3 and 3. And the people on the left side of the aircraft, right in front of the exit, they're like getting blown all over. I mean, they're like strapped in, but the air is just, the incoming rushing air is blowing their clothes and their hair. And you can see they look somewhat terrified.
They're just sitting there.
Somewhat terrified. Yes, that's exactly how they looked.
But the flyer, the 33-year-old Asiana Airlines flyer, was arrested on Sunday for violated aviation security law. And this particular charge carries a penalty of up to 10 years in prison, according to South Korean officials. The man, who was only identified by his surname Lee, L-E-E, which, by the way,
I mean,
Lee is like Jones or Smith in Korea. Lee is a very, very common name. Told cops he opened the door because he was uncomfortable and he wanted to get off the plane quickly. And he said that he had recently lost his job and he was stressed. Well, guess what? You're going to be really stressed because the guy faces 10 years in jail right now. Guy has a potential 10-year prison sentence for what he did coming down the pike.
Good.
The Asiana Airbus A321-200 was carrying approximately 200 people for an hour-long flight from the South Korean island of Jeju to Daegu on Friday when the incident occurred. I mean, this is just insane.
So now the airline's no longer selling seats in the emergency exit row.
That's the next thing. Look at this. That's the next item I'm about to say. Look at this. I got that story right here. Asiana stopped selling emergency exit row following the door incident. What is that? Because there's going to be a rash of people. So now they're not going to sell emergency exit seats?
One lunatic changes the whole corporate structure of their sales plan?
Are you kidding me?
I mean, if somebody's crazy enough, they're going to get up and run to the door. It doesn't matter if they're sitting there or not.
Well, first of all, we need to figure out you're not supposed to be able to open up a door when an aircraft is in flight. The fact is the aircraft is pressurized. The air pressure acts as like a cork, and you can't you're not supposed to be able to open up an aircraft door.
Do you ever try to open your car door when you're traveling like at 30 miles an hour just to throw something out? You can't do it. It's like really impossible to do.
Oh, it's
Much
tough.
less a plane at 300 miles an hour coming on into a landing. I don't understand how any of this happened. I don't understand the ridiculous passenger sitting next to him like, oh, look at this guy getting up. Oh, look at this guy grabbing the handle to the door.
Tackle his ass.
Nobody tried to stop him? I would be choking this guy out with my seatbelt extender.
Okay. According to a report by Al Jazeera, yeah, that's a great news source, the airline said the emergency exit seats 31 and 26 on their fleet of A321 Airbuses would no longer be offered for sale in order to prevent such incidents from happening again. So, like indefinitely, they're going to not sell, half a dozen or more seats because they happen to be in exit rows? Are you kidding me?
It's crazy.
Because one maniac, also, we got to find out how was he able to open the door when the plane was not that high. It was only at about 700 or 800 feet of altitude, but still.
Maybe the guy's really strong. Like he's like a bodybuilder or something.
The passenger was in his 30s that opened the door. He was immediately arrested upon landing. He said he was feeling suffocated, wanted to get off the flight, and now the guy faces 10 years in a Korean prison. It's fantastic.
He's going to jump out? He's a fresh air. Let me jump out of an airplane.
That's insane.
What a chooch.
It's not a thing in Korea.
Oh, by the way, we've got Leonard Skinner and ZZ Top tickets to give away later today.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So in the 9 o'clock hour, you want to go see Leonard Skinner and ZZ Top at the Mid-Florida Credit Union Amphitheater? It's going to be July 22nd, and we've got tickets. So heads up, Leonard Skinner and ZZ Top at the Amphitheater, Mid-Florida Credit Union. We've got a pair of tickets for you. It'll happen in the 9 o'clock hour. Just keep listening, and we will tell you exactly when to phone in. So heads up. Let me get Bo Zimmer with all this airplane talk. Let me get Bo Zimmer on the phone. Bo Zimmer from Tampa International. All right. Bo Zimmer. This should be his number right here. It is.
Okay.
All right. Let me dial him up. So Bo Zimmer is in the communications department over at Tampa International.
And they're doing something for a charity?
Yeah. So he'll explain the whole thing.
Okay.
What they do is they offer like a raffle. You make a small donation to then get into consideration for being chosen to actually record the shuttle announcement for a period of time. And they want me to record the announcement to promote the contest. So let me get Bo Zimmer on the line. Hang on a minute.
So hold on. You got to buy a raffle ticket just to be in consideration? I don't like this at all. I want them to pick the random person.
What are you talking
Well,
about?
if you're in consideration, I want somebody with like a lisp.
Oh my
That guy would never make it otherwise.
Fester, you're like Debbie Downer all the way around.
Let's talk to Bo about it.
Hey, Bo Zimmer, welcome to the MJ Morning Show. Hi.
Good morning. Good morning. I'm sorry you're not feeling well.
Yeah, listen, I'm also in like that outer body situation where I really don't even have a handle of what this show sounds like.
Well, you're sounding good this morning. I've been listening.
Yeah. Oh, I hear chirping birds. Where are you in an aviary?
I am outside right now, and there are birds chirping quite obnoxiously right now.
It's very, very peaceful. All right, so Bo Zimmer's in the communications department over at Tampa International Airport. And Bo, you'll recognize Bo Zimmer's name, formerly a reporter at Channel 10. Hey, Bo, can I say something real quick?
Absolutely.
I can't name one person at Channel 10 anymore.
You know, back in the day, we had, so many names, Mike Deason and Reggie Roundtree, and Suzalenko, over the years that people would know. I think part of the issue is now people aren't watching the news as regularly. It's not people watching every night at 6 o'clock or every night at 11 o'clock as they did back in the 80s and 90s, perhaps. So it takes longer for people to learn the names of the local news personalities. I think that's part of it.
Yeah, I've got some other theories as well, but I mean, seriously, if somebody called me up and said, MJ, for $1 million, name anybody on Channel 10, I couldn't do it. I could not name one person for $1 million. The other thing, Bo, is, listen, how long were you a reporter over there?
I was there for 16 years.
I mean, long time. I mean, but you're one of those recognizable names. I mean, I would be able to rattle off, Mike Deason, Bo Zimmer, and
Reggie,
Reginald Roundtree, and the anchors. And these days, I can't name anybody. But the other thing is, and this is not just exclusive to Channel 10. This is all the TV stations: Channel 8, Channel 13, Channel 28, Channel 10. For whatever reason, we've reduced the quality of the hires in local TV. It's right now we're getting like reporters that appear to be like fresh out of college that should be doing 5 or 10 years in smaller markets and working their way up. Because I'm seeing people on all the different channels these days where it's like, my God, just 5, 8, 10 years ago, there's no way they would have been hired in Tampa. You know what I mean, Bo?
I think across the board at TV stations across the country, it's a lot easier to get into the business with less experience at a younger age into a bigger market.
They're also paying a lot less money. They're trying to hire cheap these days as well.
So it's a situation where the local TV stations are really working hard to try to put on a product with maybe fewer resources at this time.
Well, listen, the radio business is pretty similar, but listen, we at least try to maintain quality of the morning show here. Other than Fester, I think we're all pretty solid.
And middays, by the way. I would agree. I'm certainly the weakest link around here.
So, Bo, you guys have approached me at Tampa International Airport, and I'm a big fan of the airport. I always tout the fact that I think Tampa International Airport is hands down one of the best airports, not only in the nation but in the world.
We were recently ranked the number one large airport for customer satisfaction, which was a huge honor for us. It was actually the first time we had been ranked number one in that particular survey. Over the years, we've gotten number one from a number of different outlets that have recognized us for being a great airport. It all goes back to 1971 when the airport first opened. Incredibly convenient, kind of a unique design back at the beginning of the jet age. And the people that designed the airport were really working to try to create a product for people where they could get in and get out of the airport without having to do a lot of walking.
And just the whole airside design. I mean, the ease of the airport getting in and out. It's tough to find an airport that comes close to Tampa International. And I've been all over the U.S. I've been in almost every major airport in the U.S. I've been to dozens of international airports. And I'm telling you, it's always a treat to come back to Tampa International Airport, or it's always a treat to exit, Tampa International Airport. So,
and how many of those airports that you went through, did you get onto some type of tram that had no one driving? A lot of people don't realize Tampa International Airport was the very first with those automated people movers.
Yep.
And that's one of the things that put Tampa International Airport on the map, and one of the reasons that we're still so popular today.
I saw also those trams are about to get replaced over the next years, right?
Yeah, they're actually working on the shuttles for Airside A and C. We're going to be getting brand new state-of-the-art shuttles, very similar to the ones that we've had all these years. They'll just have the latest technology on board.
Yeah, I remember we talked about that a couple of weeks. Those are very expensive. I didn't know that shuttles cost that much money.
Yeah, and we use them for a long time. They have an average lifespan of around 25 to 30 years,
Wow.
I think. And you'll have 1 million miles that'll be put onto those shuttles. Which is, a trip to the moon and back a couple times. So it's pretty impressive how much use and how reliable those shuttle cars are, constantly running day after day, 365 days a year.
All right, so airside, the airsides, like we have A and C, we've got E and F, and we've got the red side, we've got the blue side, and you want me to record some news right now. Tampa Mayor Jane Castor has recorded the messages. Hey, welcome to Tampa International Airport. Just the instructions of getting your baggage. They're just the typical announcements. And you guys want me to record a set of scripts here, Bo, for the airport to announce the charitable contest. Explain the whole contest to our listeners.
Yeah, so this is the Voice of TPA contest. This is actually our third year of doing this, and this is all to raise money for United Way Suncoast. You can buy a raffle ticket for $5. You're not limited to just one, so you can buy as many tickets as you want. The more you donate, the better your chances of winning. And if you win, you will be that voice welcoming, hundreds of thousands of passengers in and out of the airport for the entire month of July. So this is a big honor. It's something that not many people get to do. It's normally reserved just for the mayor. And it's going to be really cool for someone who gets to win.
Well, Jack Harris did it for years as well.
For years we had him back in the day, but in more recent memory, it's been just the mayor. And
that's right. Bob Buckhorn did it, and then Mayor Castor.
Correct.
Yep.
Correct.
All right, so you sent me a sample script here. So you guys want me to record the announcement announcing the raffle. Now, just out of curiosity, so when I record this, you guys will load them into the shuttles, and how long will my announcement run?
I'll have to check on how long it's going to run, but we've only got a couple days left in the contest. So one of the reasons we were doing this, we thought this would be a good way to help promote, to get the word out, and to help raise money for United Way Suncoast. So we were hoping that you would help us out with this, and so it's on the radio here talking right now live, but also on the shuttle cars for these last couple remaining days. We want to get the word out.
All right, so if folks want to enter the raffle, do they go to the Tampa International website?
You can go to voiceoftpa.com. That'll take you directly to the page where you can enter in your name, you make your $5 donation, you purchase that raffle ticket. There's some information there, but voiceoftpa.com is where you want to go to enter.
All right.
So, Bo, what if I enter my $5 and I make my donation and I win and I have a hair lip? Or I have a stuttering problem? Welcome to Tampa.
You're terrible.
I mean, would that person win?
Leave
Is that
it,
what you're saying?
Leave it to Fester.
You know, Fester, I would love it if you won, actually. And I don't, this is going to be completely at random. If we could get Fester on the shuttles, that would be amazing. Hey, this is Fester. Welcome to Tampa International Airport. That would be, I'd love to have Roxanne do it too, or Froggy.
Thank you, Bo. Could I do it in a British accent?
That's right. She does a great British accent.
Why would you want? It's Tampa, Florida. Why do you want a British accent?
I can
tell you why. Because we have 2 international flights straight into both of our London airports, Heathrow and Gatwick.
There you go.
Listen, I see the British Airways flight leave almost every night when I'm walking the dogs. That's the Gatwick flight. That's the 777-200.
Yep. And then we've got the Virgin Atlantic flight that goes out. That's a big one as well. And that one comes in and takes off a little later in the evening now.
Yeah, I think that's the Airbus 330.
It's a brand new plane. In fact, real fuel efficient. Has a great cabin experience as well.
Hey, Bo, let me talk to you about something else.
Okay.
How do I make my boy MJ the permanent voice of these little trolley things you have going back and forth? I mean, Mayor Jane does a fantastic job, but she just does the welcome, right? She doesn't do the, step to the left. Please wait for the doors to close completely, or please grab a handrail. She doesn't do that.
Didn't Jack do it for a while?
That's right. Jack,
I said, where you been? Jack did it for years.
He did it for a long time.
So here's what I'd say. That's way above my pay grade, but here's who you need to talk to. You need to talk to Mayor Castor. I don't think she's going to go for that idea, but she would be, she's on our board for the Hillsborough County Aviation Authority. So, she would have some pull in that. But again, it's her voice on there right now. I think she's going to probably prefer to continue doing that. She lets us take it off for a month just for charity, but I don't know beyond that. We'll have to talk to her.
I'm thinking bigger picture. You have automated messages that play throughout the airport, right?
All over, yes, correct.
I want to replace that guy with MJ. I want MJ to record.
What are you, my agent all of a sudden?
This is what I want. I want MJ to do all of the airport's automated messages from now until forever.
Okay. Well, I'm going to run that up the chain. We'll see what they say.
All right, so Bo, let me. How does my voice sound? Does it sound all right?
It actually sounds pretty good considering all you're going through right now.
Yeah, I'm having a rough time with the kidney thing. All right, so let me just I've got the scripts here: arriving shuttle passengers, and then arriving shuttle passengers version 2. Then I have the outbound. So first, these are the arrival scripts. All right, here we go. I'm just going to give it a whirl. Hi, it's MJ from the MJ Morning Show on Q105. Welcome to the Tampa Bay area, home of the best beaches, #1 baseball team, and America's favorite airport. Now you can be the voice to greet visitors here on the TPA shuttles. Enter to win by making a $5 donation to United Way Suncoast at voiceoftpa.com. We're approaching the main terminal and Airport Marriott Hotel. Follow signs for rental cars, baggage claim, and ground transportation. Meeting a ride? Try the new Blue Express lanes for faster.
Ooh,
dude, I'm
oh my God, that's so
it's
bad.
my first run through.
Well, come on.
So bad. Oh my
Dude,
God.
it's my first run through.
Kind of fell off a cliff there.
Bo, what did you get yourself into?
Guys, it's my I'm reading it for the first time.
Okay, we gotta talk about spacing. We gotta talk about breaths. We gotta.
It's my
Listen,
Is it your first time reading copy?
Oh, Bo, what did you do?
Guys,
somebody called Jack. Tell him we need him.
Hey, all right, here we go. Take 2. Here we go. 3, 2, and 1. Hi, it's MJ from the MJ Morning Show on Q105. Welcome to the Tampa Bay area, home of the best beaches, #1 baseball team, and America's favorite airport. Now you can be the voice to greet visitors here on the TPA shuttles. Enter to win by making a $5 donation to United Way Suncoast at voiceoftpa.com. We're approaching the main terminal and Airport Marriott Hotel. Follow signs for rental cars, baggage claim, and ground transportation. Meeting a ride.
Huh?
Hey, I can do a pickup and edit.
We can edit. We can edit these together.
Meeting a ride.
Do you want to know what this reminds me of a little bit?
What's that?
This reminds me of when I would be listening on the weekends to Casey Kasem on the countdown.
Right.
Is what it sounds like. We I want you to think about these passengers coming in. These are people coming in from around the world. They are so excited to be here. Give me a little more, energy. Be a little more, we need some happiness in this. In this message.
Yeah, you're just robotic.
MJ, you're using
here for us.
Bo's right. You're using your announcer voice and not your talking voice.
And not your, hey, I'm happy to be here. Welcome to Tampa, everybody. This is a party. And we don't care about the Tampanians as much as we do as those Brits coming across the pond.
Okay.
And that's not true. We care about our hometown people like MJ, who might be going off on a vacation somewhere or going to take a trip somewhere. We want him to feel just as special coming into his favorite airport as well. But it's also those people that are coming in outside. I'd be interested to hear. I can hear it in Roxanne's voice. If she were to do this, she would knock it out of the ballpark.
Let's give it to Roxanne.
Hold on. Now I'm getting bumped.
Are you
I'm
asking
getting
me?
bumped.
Did you want to ask me something, Bo?
Bo, it's not
I
too
wonder
late.
if we do you and Roxanne, and maybe that adds, like the serious
Tag team.
and then the fun.
Ooh. Nice, like the program director of Q105.
I'm getting bumped.
Well, again, when we do this,
I'm getting bumped like an oversold flight.
Roxanne, nice working with you.
You know what, MJ? You're getting karma because he like makes fun of me during the breaks about how I do my spots.
Listen,
Bo likes
MJ,
him.
you need to use your talking voice, not your "Welcome to Tampa. This is MJ from the MJ Boy." That's not your
I'm
natural.
not doing that.
That's exactly what you're doing.
It's MJ.
For Bo to say you sound like Casey Kasem, you're using your damn announcer voice.
Well, I think it also might be. I suspect you're in a little bit of pain, so it may be.
I'm like totally in an outer body experience the whole morning today.
That's what's going on here.
Yeah.
We're not getting the true MJ experience. Because I've heard MJ when he gets really excited about something.
Yeah.
It's you can't hold him back.
Bo, when do you need this audio by?
I'd like to have it today if we can, and then if we can do that, I think we can get it on the shuttles by tomorrow because we're running out of time before the contest ends.
When does the contest end?
Officially ends May 31st, so we got today and tomorrow.
That's tomorrow.
And then it ends at 5:00, and then we will actually announce the winner on June 1st.
Why'd we wait so long for me to cut this stuff?
Well, I wanted to try to get you. I was hoping to try to get the mayor on to come on with us, but she was out of town all last.
Okay.
week, so that was part of our issue.
So you want MJ on for essentially like 6 hours?
But we'll get him on for an entire day. But this is our last big push to try to raise some money.
All right, for the voice of the TPA shuttle. All right, I'll tell you what. I'm gonna get home today. I'll record them when I get home in my home studio. How about that?
Okay,
Also, part of the deal is, Bo, the email, the copy is so small. I'm having trouble reading it.
I can enlarge it for you.
Yeah,
I can
so
retype it.
I know. I'll enlarge it as well.
I'm just saying,
I have the technology, but
Bo, don't worry. I'll coach him through it today.
when
I'll
I printed out the email, it came out really, really small. All right, Bo. So I'll go to work on this and get the shuttle done. And
you don't have to read the script word for word. Have a little fun with it. We're working with a very limited amount of time. I think it's a 29-second message door to door on those shuttles. If you go longer, then people are getting off the shuttle, so we don't want to do that. But have a little fun with it. Make it your own.
All right, so 29 seconds max, right?
Yes, correct.
Okay. All right, I'll get it to you later this morning when I get home.
Sounds good. Thank you so much for doing this, and thanks for supporting our Voice of TPA contest.
And, folks, if you want to try to win, go to voiceoftpa.com. It's a $5 donation to United Way Suncoast. And if you're chosen, if you're picked from the raffle, you could be the voice for the entire month of July.
Hey, before Bo goes, can we book our tour with him? Don't we have a tour with him at the airport?
We have an invitation to one.
Yeah, we still need to do that. We need to get the behind-the-scenes Tampa International Tour, yeah.
We'll have to check on calendars.
Yeah.
Can't book it right now.
Yeah, but
Thank you, Bo.
That's also something we need to do. All right, Bo, thanks for coming on, buddy.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Good talking to you guys.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye.
All right, so there we go.
Glad he didn't call you with like 25 minutes left in the contest. I love Bo, but it ends tomorrow. Like, holy crap.
All right, 8:51.
I thought I was going to run for like a month or 2 or 3 weeks.
It should run a little more than a day.
All right, Bo.
Does it even, is it too much trouble to like put the new recording in? All right, 8:51 at the MJ Morning Show here on Q105. Quick break. This ends, an hour and 20 minutes nonstop, MJ? And hopefully that was acceptable broadcasting because, folks, I'm out of it. I'm telling you right now, I just do not have the usual, I don't have the usual guardrails where I always have, instant, real-time perception of what I sound like, what the crew sounds like, what the show sounds like. And with my little medical issue here with my kidney stones and my recovery, I'm just out of it. I'm a space freaking cadet over here. I'm just telling you right now. So hopefully this has been somewhat entertaining, passable radio. All right, 8:52 at the MJ Morning Show. Let's talk about your carpets. See, like when I hear my voice right now, it just doesn't sound like, it doesn't punch the way I sound like, hey, hey. I just don't sound the same in my ears. You know,
you don't sound like, hi, boys and girls, until you do that.
Hey, kids.
No, you don't sound like that. You're doing great.
Oh man, you know, you know me, I'm a control freak. And I hate when I'm not in complete control. And like I said, I always have the guardrails. I always have the mental parameters, the physical parameters. So I always know when to bring things back in, let things go loose a little bit. And it's like I've lost all those parameters. I just my mental state is just it's kind of mushy. I guess just kind of squishy and mushy. And it's just like physically I feel the same way. Like mentally and physically, and probably really because I haven't eaten much since Thursday. I mean, I think I had some chicken soup yesterday. I had a little bit of rice over the weekend, but I mean, since Thursday night, I was famished. When I got home Thursday night, I did have some pasta, but then Friday and then Saturday, Sunday, Monday. I mean, listen, if I had 1,000 calories total the entire weekend, like Saturday, Sunday, Monday, that might be a lot.
Ooh.
Right. But I drank a lot. So, Michelle got me that 100% pomegranate juice. So that's high in sugar. So
high in calories also.
High in calories, high in sugar. So I was drinking that. And a lot of people say that pomegranate juice is good for the kidneys. Even more so than cranberry.
Did you drop the Bragg's apple cider vinegar? A lot of people were talking about drinking some of that stuff.
Yeah, you know what?
Flush it right out.
When the doctors don't bring that stuff up, it's like, Yeah,
but still, nutritionally, you can do stuff to help yourself.
But I'm just in a spot where I feel hungry. Like right now, I'm like feeling my flanks. I'm feeling my stomach, and it's like
you're feeling yourself.
I mean, I'm down I think I'm down like 7 or 8 pounds already. So, again, I don't feel totally steady on my feet. I mean, it's not like I'm going to collapse, but it's just everything. I don't feel 100% steady. And I'm not on any narcotics. I'm not taking any medication that is a scheduled drug. I stopped taking the oxys after the kidney procedure on Friday. So I think Friday night was my last of the oxys because those things, they blocked me up. And that's one of the side effects. Like, I don't understand it. People that have like an addiction to opioids and, they're popping all those hydrocodones, oxycodones, the Oxycontins. I mean, that's one of the side effects is those drugs, man. It's like someone's taken some concrete and some 30-year caulking and jammed it in your intestines and let it harden up to sidewalk consistency. And how do those addicts deal with that?
Laxatives.
Oh, wow. You're just burning the candle at both ends.
That was a really quick answer, Roxanne.
Yeah. For something you want to tell us, Roxanne.
We're just kicking around possibilities, really with no clue. And then you, laxatives.
I'll tell you what.
That would be the answer.
I drank a whole bottle of magnesium citrate.
Ooh, sounds good.
Okay, I drank a whole bottle of that, like 10 ounces. And then you wanted something gross?
Yes, more.
I drank 2 heaping tablespoons of flaxseed oil.
That's
and then Michelle, she went and bought me mineral oil. And I'm like, oh no, the flaxseed oil was bad enough. I can't imagine drinking the freaking mineral oil. So I think that things are moving a little bit now. So hopefully I'll be okay. But I'm telling you, man, if you can avoid those oxys, man, avoid those damn things at all costs. I mean, I got to be honest. There was a point over the weekend, which I don't know what was worse. The kidney stone fragments making their way out or the
other part not making its way out at all.
Yeah, or being all jammed up. I mean, I'm having both at the same time. I'm like, oh my God, I can't catch a break here. So, what about? Am I humoring you?
No, it's just man, oh man.
What am I? Am I a clown over here? What am I making you?
I think you're
funny like a clown.
You're walking the fine line of drama queenery. I think
the fine line of drama queenery and explosiveness all at the same time. I mean,
you're going to explode.
I'm loaded with mineral oil and the bomb hasn't gone off just yet. So we'll see.
That will be dramatic when that happens.
We have We have Leonard Skinner and ZZ Top tickets. We'll give them away sometime this hour. So we're in the 9 o'clock hour. It's 9:07. I've just lost all context. I mean, all I know is we're in the 9 o'clock hour, and I think we've got 2 segments to go. But I've lost like all context here. I don't have just the same grip on reality, which I usually do, and that's troubling to me because you know me, I like to have a complete grip on everything and just maintain 100% control. So it's difficult for me when I'm in this very fragile and very what's the word I'm looking for? I can't even think of all my words. Yeah, that's it. Vulnerable situation. So Leonard Skinner, ZZ Top, going to be at Mid-Florida Credit Union at the Amphitheater July 22nd. And we've got your tickets. We'll give those away here in just a bit. We'll tell you what number caller to be. We'll give you the phone number, and we'll tell you when to call in. Just keep listening. It'll happen shortly here on the MJ Morning Show on Q105. But if you hear my voice, it's just, I don't have the edge. I don't have the typical edge to my voice. I feel, I just don't have it. I don't know why I lost that because I thought I sounded better on Friday. Now, Friday, I was a little loopy because I was still on the oxys, but, I didn't drive in. Fester drove me in. So I think I was a little, but I didn't have like the voice loss, which I kind of have the voice loss now. And that's what I'm dealing with. All right, so heads up, Leonard Skinner, ZZ Top tickets. We'll give those away in just a bit. All right, let me try to, I got a lot of material here. Let me try to just kind of space things out and I just got to be honest. Just want to get through the show, get home. There's no freaking way I'm doing my afternoon program today. I got to get a fill in today. Because I just
want me and Fester to do it?
Listen, if you had Froggy and Fester fill in for the Schnitz show,
that's not going to happen.
National syndication baby.
You would lose like 10 affiliates like that.
That's not going to happen.
Hey.
So I don't know what to make out of this, but do you see the rumors are now heating up again on Tom Brady?
What rumors? I haven't seen this.
And the Raiders?
I can't stand him.
So there's been speculation that he's going to buy a minority stake.
Right.
But is there any chance that he could play quarterback for a season for the Raiders?
And then if he owned the team, he could cut himself if he wanted to.
Would he be the first player to ever be an owner and a player?
All right, listen to this. I saw this over the weekend. This is from the New York Post. Didn't take long for the Tom Brady buzz to start building in Sin City in light of the recent news surrounding Las Vegas Raiders quarterback Jimmy Garoppolo, who underwent foot surgery this offseason after joining the team in March on a 3-year, $67.5 million deal, which reportedly includes a waiver clause. Speculation is already mounting as to who could potentially be the next man up. The Las Vegas Review-Journal outlined an option for the Raiders centered on Brady, who stated in February he's retiring from the NFL for good. And as expected, the idea of the quarterback suiting up again wouldn't be without possible complications. In recent weeks, the 45-year-old Brady has moved closer to obtaining a minority stake in the Raiders, which is owned by Mark Davis. Although there is no timetable for a decision, according to the Review-Journal, a league source raised the possibility that Brady's approval by fellow owners could come with the provision that he is fully retired. So there's still just this lingering speculation that with Garoppolo's condition, there's just this buzz, and I don't know if it's wishful thinking, but is there any chance in hell that Tom Brady could actually suit up and quarterback one more season, this time for the Las Vegas Raiders?
God, so selfish. He is such a selfish man.
I mean, he walks in the building and goes, I am the greatest player of all time. Just throw the old pigskin around.
Or again, for a minority stake, if owners of the other NFL teams, if they have to approve. So in order for Brady's Raiders deal to become official as a minority stakeholder, it has to be voted on and approved by at least 24 of the league's 32 owners. So it's not unanimous, it's 24 of 32. But like I said, could one of the conditions be that they will approve Tom Brady becoming a minority stakeholder in the Las Vegas Raiders only if he absolutely 100% retires from the game and he will not play again. Listen, I'm just letting you know what's out there. And, again, we got more rumblings here. So, this
What about
is
his big deal to be the broadcaster?
Well, that's another deal.
Is that done?
Good point.
You could still be a minority stakeholder and still do the Fox deal. So, that deal, remember, is a 10-year commentary deal.
How could you be a commentator of a game when you own the team on the field?
Allegedly worth $375 million over 10 years.
He just wants it all, doesn't he?
They're doing the big AFC West Broncos Raiders game, and then he's like, "Oh, damn it, guys, come on. What am I paying you guys for?"
So earlier today, we kind of went round the horn. And we talked about what everyone did this Memorial Day weekend. Fester did this, and Roxanne did that, and Froggy did this.
Mm-hmm.
You don't remember what we did, do you?
Listen, I got to be honest. I don't remember what I did 4 minutes ago. I'm just in this. I'm in a stupor, man. I'm telling you. I'm just in everything about. I'm off kilter. I'm just, hopefully, it's just a couple more days of recovery. I just want to be in good shape for Julian's graduation.
You will be
on Saturday. So I think that, like for instance, I've had very little kidney pain this morning, and I think that the oxy's kind of binding you up. I read about a high school senior prank where they poured concrete in the toilets.
Right. That's not a prank.
That's that's vandal. That's flat out vandalism. But there was, I think somewhere in North Carolina, one of the prank things that the kids did at their schools, they poured concrete into the toilets. And at this particular high school, I think in North Carolina, something like $4,000 in damage. But when I saw that story, I'm like, oh no, that's exactly. I feel like the senior pranksters poured concrete in my plumbing, But I think that. The kidney pain is starting to subside, so hopefully the pieces are almost out. So I haven't had much kidney pain this morning, and then the other issue is loosening up as well. So I hopefully I'm on the road to recovery, and I just want to be in decent shape for my son's graduation up in Connecticut at his boarding school on Saturday. And I'm leaving on Friday to fly up with Chloe. Michelle's leaving early. And to help get Julian all packed up and everything. So nothing's worse than traveling and flying if I'm in crappy condition. But
oh no, maybe the change in altitude will help your organs just pump everything along.
Okay.
Change of condition.
Yeah. But what I was saying was, as far as everyone's Memorial Day weekend, and again, don't forget the reason for Memorial Day, and that's to honor those that lost their lives fighting for this country and serving this great nation of ours. Please don't lose sight of that. But earlier, I asked the crew what they did. Got, varying stories. My weekend was just lousy. I left the house for 25 minutes. Seriously. I was feeling okay on Saturday morning, so I was waiting out front at Great Clips to get my hair cut.
Okay.
Yeah, because I need to get my hair cut before I go to the graduation because my hair was just all, Ed Sheeran moppy looking. So I had to go get a haircut. And
those are probably some barbershop confessions if you're all loopy in there getting your hair cut.
No, I wasn't loopy because I'd stopped taking the oxy. So I wasn't loopy. So I went and got my hair cut, and I waited out front for Supercuts so I could be the first appointment, right? And this is the Supercuts, not Supercuts, but Great Clips. Right? Great Clips, is that the one? Yeah, Great Clips. Mm-hmm. So Great Clips in the Panera Shopping Center, right at West Shore and Kennedy. So that's, fairly close to my house. So I'm waiting out front, and I get there at 9. I'm sorry. I get there. They open at 9. I get there at 8:47. And there's already a lady waiting out front.
Oh, no.
And I said, who are you here to get your hair cut from? And she said, Ha.
Oh, no.
You said, what are you laughing at?
And Ha is the lady that cuts my hair. See, Ha is very popular. Then a guy pulls up on a bike. You guys waiting for Ha? Yep. So they're like, before they even open the doors, there are 3 people waiting for Ha, who does a great job. I mean, she does a great haircut. So anyway, luckily, the woman, I mean, we have just minor conversations. Like, yeah. She said, oh yeah, I'm just getting my bangs trimmed, and I got to be honest, I could not tell any difference from when she was standing in line to when she left. I mean, it's just whatever she had done was very, very minimal. I mean, it was like really minimal. But I had the lady knew who I was, because then as she was leaving, she said, see, MJ, I told you it was going to be pretty quick.
As you're doubling over in pain.
Yeah. See, I told you I was going to be quick. I'm like, hey, thanks a lot. Have a great weekend. But then I got my hair cut. That was the only time I left the house this weekend. I left the house for 25, 30 minutes, and that was it. Went to get my hair cut, and then I went right home. And then I didn't leave the house all freaking weekend because I didn't want to move. I was in my underwear. I was in my Fruit of the Loom jockey underwear all weekend long. I had no shoes on, no socks on. I had no shirt on. I was just moving from couch to couch, sometimes up in the bedroom, just, moving around the house. And, Michelle and Chloe said that I wonder where Chloe is now. I think she's at her internship. So Chloe said, and Michelle, they've never, ever seen me sleep this much, ever. I mean, in the history of Chloe's 21 years, she can never, ever recall me being this disjointed, this disconnected, and sleeping this long.
Now, did anything happen during your procedure? Like, did you lose a lot of blood?
No, you don't lose. You don't lose blood.
Like when they're jamming your arm to put the IV in to put you under.
Why would I lose blood?
Well, that happened to me one time. That's the only time.
They was squirting out like a Dan Aykroyd, Julia Child skit.
Yes, I had that happen, and I'm just trying to relate to you. And the only time
I cut the dickens out of my finger. Oh no,
spurting out. Yeah.
No blood spurted out. With my IV, stuff was going in. Like the drugs to knock me out with general anesthesia. I wasn't. Nothing was coming out.
That's good.
Yeah.
That is good.
Very good.
Hey, so we've got Leonard Skinner's ZZ Top tickets to give away in just a little bit. Keep listening. We'll tell you exactly when to call in. It'll happen before we shut the show down. And, look at the clock. It's 9:20, so we will be shutting things down shortly. Now, earlier, again, we talked about what everyone did over the weekend. And I had a lousy weekend, but I'm trying to figure out, was it more lousy than the people on that Carnival cruise out of South Carolina? Did you see this?
Ooh.
I love a cruise, man, but
did you see the video?
This weather.
Yeah, that's scary.
Oh, my God. This is a mess. If you don't know what happened on a Carnival cruise over the weekend, we'll give you the details on that. And then, listen, I got a bunch of loose ends. I didn't even get to a fraction of what I prepped. And I got to be honest, I can't tell you anything that happened in the previous 3.5 hours. I have no idea.
You talked about your stones a lot.
I have no memory.
Okay.
I'm just totally zoned out. So if today's show was just an abortion, I apologize. I have no clue what happened today. I really don't. I have no clue. All right, 9:21 MJ Morning Show. We'll take a quick break. We'll give away the Leonard Skinner and the ZZ Top tickets in the next segment. And then a couple of loose ends, including the Carnival Cruise disaster and some other items, all next here on the MJ Morning Show on Q105. Stand by. It is the MJ Morning Show at Q105, MJ and the crew, 9:31. Final chunk of the MJ Morning Show here on a, what is this, Tuesday, right? Yeah, Tuesday after Memorial Day. So welcome, everybody. If you haven't heard the entire show today, don't go back and listen to it.
Usually you're like, if you missed any of it, you can download the podcast. Yeah. MJMorningshow.com.
Watch MJ TV. Am I ashen looking?
What?
I mean, am I ashen?
Assy?
I said, am I ashen looking?
Like more pale than normal?
Like Ashton Kutcher?
Froggy, why is your hat all like saltwater stained?
Because I wore it all weekend at the beach.
I know, but it looks sloppy.
You look sloppy.
That's a good point.
What are you talking about? Make fun of my hat. He's been whining about his ween all day.
I'm not whining about... It's
the area.
It's my kidney. It's not my ween.
It's all connected.
All right. So Leonard Skinner, ZZ Top tickets. We'll give those away momentarily here in the final chunk of the MJ Morning Show on a Tuesday. Yeah, I'm hoping that tomorrow I'm going to bounce right back. I'm hoping that just a little bit of additional rest today, and I'm going to bounce back, and I'm going to feel just all revived, right? Revived?
Revived.
What's the matter with you?
I can't,
Not revised. I'm going to be a revised version of myself.
I'm telling you, I can't even get the right words out today.
I hope you're bad tomorrow. We can come up with a kidney stone quiz for you. And just basic info that you won't remember because you're so messed up.
Anyway, hey, speaking of messed up, terrified passengers on this Carnival cruise ship were left hurling all over the place. Their ship ended up in a torrential, nasty storm. It was pounding their South Carolina base ship. The vessel was flooded, and even doors were ripped off the hinges on this Carnival Sunshine. I'll tell you right now, not a whole lot of sunshine on the Carnival Sunshine. Holy crap.
Yeah, not this trip anyway.
Yeah, we're returning to Charleston following a week-long trip to the Bahamas when it got caught in wild weather. Nasty Memorial Day weekend trip. Video is all over online. Tons of social media out there as cruise goers showed flooded hallways. The floor is littered with glass and debris. I mean, this ship is like a wreck. I mean, I don't know how they can turn this thing around, like in their typical fashion. I mean, there's a lot of repairs that have to be done here. So whoever is on a subsequent Carnival Sunshine cruise, after this thing pulled into port, I got to believe that this boat is not going out on time.
No. There's a lot of repairs needed.
Yeah, the ship's crew members were forced to evacuate their flooded quarters. Throughout the storm, several passengers also complained that they were starting to feel sick due to the ship just tossing and turning.
Yeah,
like the minnow in the Gilligan's Island, opening. One traveler described being able to smell people being sick walking down the halls.
Oh, gross.
Ew.
But look at the debris. Look at this. Look at I'm holding this up to MJTV right now, and Festus has some color pictures up on our computer monitor in here. But look at this. Look at the debris. The hallway is just covered. You couldn't even walk down the hallway.
Everything that's not bolted down is ripped away. You have glasses or cups or doors that aren't secured.
I'm seeing doors. I'm seeing hatches. It looks like pipes and parts of wall that are just. It looks like the ship was coming apart.
They saw this storm coming. Usually, these ship captains do really good jobs of avoiding major
steering
storms.
Away.
Yeah,
going somewhere else. R.J. Whitted, who was on the cruise, was celebrating his engagement to his fiancee, Tracy. Well, guess what? It's an engagement they'll never forget. Said that the ship was shaking so violently. Passengers also complained that they didn't hear from the ship's captain or any of the crew members for hours during the chaos. They left us blind, according to Daniel Taylor, a passenger who told WCIV television out of Charleston, not reassuring us about what was going on, where we were headed, what the plan was. They could have updated us and let us know something.
Well, is that like a captain of a plane aborting a landing and they're too busy in the cockpit doing maneuvers or flight deck doing stuff that they can't talk to the passengers? Is it like that? Is that why they didn't make announcements?
Well, on a ship, you've got hundreds of crew members. On an airplane, you've got two up front flying the airplane. So in the event of an emergency, you might not hear from the captain and the first officer because they're dealing with flying the airplane. Cockpit resource management, just making sure that you can fly the damn airplane. So in this case, you've got all kinds of other ship personnel that could have kept the passengers up to speed and up to date, with what was going on. Another passenger, Christina Seifert Alicia, said she didn't receive word from the captain or for the crew for more than 12 hours. What we endured is indescribable. Not only to feel yourself, but to hear and see it set in on every person around you, from adult to child to the elderly, is something I will never forget. Again, I'm looking at the pictures from inside the hallways of this ship, and it looks like the ship sank. It looks like it hit an iceberg, and parts are like all over the place.
Okay, it doesn't look like that, because that would be below the ocean. There'd be 500 dead people.
Dude, I'm looking at debris all over the place. I'm looking at parts that are floating down the hallway that I don't even know where these parts came from.
Even through the worst of it, though, they kept the casino open. So you can still sit there and play the one-armed bandits.
And odds on casino ships typically suck.
Really?
Yeah. Casino ship odds are typically among the worst.
Like worse than regular casinos, because you got nowhere to go.
Hey, and by the way, we can get into this maybe tomorrow. I read a whole story about how in Vegas that they're making the odds worse for gamblers in Vegas. That there's a whole move, a concerted move from the casino industry, because you have less and less operators. You've got fewer operators running the casinos, and they're tightening up their ships. So they're making the table games, everything from blackjack to roulette, they're making it harder to win. And, with roulette, you can add like a 00, for instance, instead of just a 0. And there are just ways. And with blackjack, to increase the house odds by, increasing the number of decks in the shoe, et cetera.
The payout on blackjack has changed. It's not, 2 to 1. It's like a different ratio. I've seen that before. Yeah, now's not the time to go to casinos.
Yeah, I thought I had in my pile here, but here we go. Wall Street Journal from over the weekend. Why you're losing more to casinos on the Las Vegas Strip. Gambling companies shift betting further in their favor, raising minimums at blackjack tables and tipping the odds in roulette. So, like the cheaper tables, like, $5 or $10 minimum, they're taking a lot of the lower minimum tables away, forcing you to bet more. Casinos on the Vegas Strip are making it costlier to play and harder to win. Payouts are lower for winning blackjack hands. Bets on some roulette wheels are riskier. And it is taking more cash to play at many game tables. Blackjack players lost nearly $1 billion to casinos on the Strip last year, the second highest loss on record after 2007, according to the data from the Nevada Gaming Control Board. Some Las Vegas casinos cut back the number of blackjack tables with dealers, raised minimum bets during busy times, and lifted their advantage over players in some games, doubling down on a pandemic practice of making subtle changes that favor the house, according to industry executives. So I know that one of the ways, like in roulette, first of all, roulette is the worst odds in the house. I mean, roulette is really a sucker's game. The best odds in the house really are craps.
What about blackjack?
Blackjack is, the house still has an advantage. Blackjack is, again, the Vegas industry in blackjack, they took in $1 billion. So,
what if you count cards?
That's really tricky to do these days.
You gotta wear a little wire and tap it, like in casino, and then Don Rickles can grab you and break your fingers.
There you go. They can smash your hand with a ball-peen hammer. Is what I'm thinking. So we ought to get into this in more detail. But seriously, in Vegas, where it seemingly was a little bit of a safer bet, the odds are getting worse out in Vegas as well for the gambler. Listen, if it gets to the point where the house has so much of an advantage, I'm not addicted to gambling. I won't play. I'm a craps guy, and we don't have craps locally. If we had craps locally, I would probably play once a month, but we don't have crap. What happened with the Seminole Hard Rock? They were supposed to get, craps, and that never happened. What happened?
Crapped out.
Apparently so.
I remember the meeting, and the chief was like, "Craps? How?" And then the other guy said, "How back?" And Never panned out.
Fester, just
that is a horrible joke.
That's the worst. Mine was bad.
It's the only Indian joke I have.
And
it's racist.
Yeah. And then Fester likes to say, "Hey, enough of your kidney stone talk," and then you come up with something like that.
That's horrible.
How on an Indian? Come on,
Fester,
please
just stop.
How?
Fester, stop!
Hello.
All right, let's give away the Leonard Skinner ZZ Top tickets right now.
How are we gonna do that?
All right.
Oh my God!
You just stop. All right. Dude, I'm in bad enough shape. I don't need you making things worse.
Sorry.
All right, so let's go with caller number, Blackjack 21. Let's go with Blackjack number 21. Number 21 right now, Leonard Skinner ZZ Top tickets. You'll have a pair of tickets for the concert, Mid-Florida Credit Union at the Amphitheater, July 22nd. So if you're the 21st caller at 800-990-1047, you got the tickets. Easy as that. 800-990-1047. That's 800-990-1047. Caller 21. Good luck. We'll grab the winner. We'll take it live on the air here on the MJ Morning Show.
Oh, my God.
What?
Roxanne just wrote me a note that she's part Native American, and she did not find that offensive.
No, she did.
Hold on, she did not.
Hold on.
I didn't say it either way.
Hold on. You're part. Wait, you're part Native American?
She's like,
of course I am.
She writes down here in the paper. She writes, "I'm Indian," and then she goes, "It's okay." That's what she did. She didn't write that, but she gave me the "It's okay" whisper line.
You're not going to come up with some. Who's the senator?
Right. The Pocahontas.
Yeah, who's Pocahontas?
Elizabeth Warren.
Elizabeth Warren out of Massachusetts. Yeah. I can't think of jack today, man. My memory's shot. I can't do anything right today. Elizabeth Warren. She faked like her whole Indian background, where she's like a fraction. So what are you? What is your?
What would great grandfather make you?
I don't know. So
what would that be? 16th?
Your great grandfather was what?
Cherokee.
Is that true?
Yes.
You say
it's true.
turkey?
Cherokee.
Cherokee.
Hey, you said it so fast.
She did say it in the most awkward way I've ever heard it.
I said Cherokee. Cherokee. Yeah.
So you're offended by Fester's awful joke or no?
Yeah, no, it's fine. He can say that.
Oh, you're like Hilaria Baldwin.
Hey, good morning, MJ Morning Show. Who's this?
It's Mike Baker.
Hey, Mike. Where are you calling from, buddy?
Lakeland.
Mike, how'd you like to win Leonard Skinner and ZZ Top tickets for the Amphitheater on July 22nd?
Sounds awesome.
Well, you're in. You're caller 21. You got it, buddy.
All right. Great, man. Thank you.
Congratulations. Hey, how bad did the show suck today?
I don't want to talk about that.
Oh, wow. Wow. Congratulations anyway.
All right,
okay.
Now, I don't sound 100%, do I?
Yeah, it's too much information, man. Yeah.
Yeah, I hear you. Yeah, I hear you. All right. So, Fester's been yelling at me all morning long. It's consuming me, man. All right. So, hey, hold on.
I've been through that, man. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. So, listen, I'm just having a rough time. Hey, so Andrew's going to get all your information, and then we'll get you to the show on the 22nd of July. All right.
Fantastic, brother. Thank you.
All right. Hold on a minute. All right. So he's on 3. And Andrew get his information, and we'll give away more tomorrow, I'm sure.
Roxanne, what relative is part Cherokee? Or
On my mom's side, it was two.
So your great grandparent?
Yes.
You are 12.5% Cherokee.
Yes, that's right. And it was between 8 and 16.
Is that enough for you to get a payout from the casinos?
I don't know, but actually, did you know, this is fascinating,
Yep.
if you go and get your genealogy done, which I'm afraid to do that because I don't want anyone having my data because I do not want to be cloned in the future.
You don't want to find out you're not Indian.
No, that's not it
or
at
Native
all.
American, I'm sorry.
But anyways, if you, like MJ, you and your brother could have X amount of Scotch in you, Scotch Irish, okay?
I thought you meant the alcohol. Right about now, you could use it.
And actually, you could get you come from the same place, but you get your genealogy done, and he's got 16%, and you've got 8%. Like it's passed on to you in its own dollop. It's not just like, okay, you get this percent because it goes up the food chain and it's your great grandfather, so it's 12.5. So it could be more, could be less, Fester, to answer your question.
How about the fact now that I hit our show close music, which is Apache?
How?
All right, Fester, knock it off. All right, folks, I promise I'll be better tomorrow.
What? What if you're not?
I mean,
Well, you're not going to be worse. We know that.
that's a good point.
Well, you know what? You really can't say that, but the plan is not to be worse tomorrow. That's a rough day for me. Rough day. And again, if the show really, really blew chunks today, I apologize. Because I hate losing control. And I felt like I didn't ring lead effectively today. I didn't have a grip and grasp on myself, So, hey, listen, sometimes, you peel back the inner layers and sometimes people, see some of the grit and grime.
This is the real you.
Yeah, don't say grit with these stones going on. All right. Listen, we'll be back tomorrow.
All right, well, that's the plan.
Oh, come on. End the show.
I'm sorry. I'm ending it now. I'm ending it now. All right, folks, it's the MJ Morning Show on Q105. Folks, have a great day. Hey, every once in a while you get to see behind the scenes, and today you got to see behind the scenes a whole lot. All right, have a great day, folks. I'm just going home I think I'm just going to pass out. Have a great day. We'll see you back here tomorrow on the MJ Morning Show on Q105, and let's be careful out there.